hold that button, say what I got to say, let it go, and whole different attitude.
How you doing? Good morning, DJ Scotty in the Fun House.
Military Mike in the morning.
And Redneck Steph. And I just got
Redneck.
a message from our precious intern there.
What does it say? Hi, I'm not there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, my alarm didn't go off this morning and I overslept. So I'm going to send him back. Just get your butt here.
No, don't do that to him. I mean, truthfully, is he tonight? Hold on. Isn't he helping Joey tonight?
No, is it tonight or Thursday?
I thought it was Thursday.
I'm not sure is why I was asking. Won't you message with him and find that out? Because if he has to work here, then don't make him come here, because by the time he gets here, the show will be over.
Well, and I told the voice
he does so much for us already.
Yeah, I told the voice if he needs to fill in, just give me a call.
He needs to fill in or fill up.
I said I'll be your wingman.
Oh, so if it was a fill in, you'll be his wingman. If it's just fill up, I'll be your bitch. Is that what Beach?
Yeah, that's what.
Some beach somewhere.
Hey, what
do I got in my pocket? I got crackers.
I got
crackers. I got crackers. Listen, my child, my grandchild, has fallen in love with these crackers, and it is amazing. I can just about get her to do anything for a peanut butter cracker.
And no, he says he's working tonight.
What would you do for a Klondike?
He's working at the
restaurant.
The restaurant or the.
I just don't want him to drive in because it's 7:32. Tell him to be
just make a decision.
Smart about it. I'm not trying to say he's stupid. That's not what I meant.
I wouldn't give him that option.
What I'm proposing is this. If it's 7:32, it takes him another 32 minutes to get out of bed. 15 minutes to find his shoes, another 15 to find his keys. Apparently his phone's missing in action, so there's another 15 minutes. We're talking 8:30 by the time
Friday.
Yeah. We're talking 8:30 by the time he can even walk to the door, and that's if he can find the door.
Twilight, if you're listening, just make a decision. That's all.
Well, I just didn't want him to at 9:00 be driving here, because then the show's going to be over. Hey, where are we going for lunch? That's what that would be.
Yeah.
I told him that you said it was up to him.
It's totally up to him. This would be the first time that he has a choice. We're pro-choice around here,
and I cannot do Mandarin Garden today.
I can't either. My gut just can't handle them all. Can I ask you a question? Did you eat Mandarin and just want to go to sleep?
Yes.
I think the food was drugged. I got back here and could not hold my eyes open, and I'm not lying, I was on my DVR scrolling down and fell asleep with the remote in my hand. Like my feet weren't even propped up. And then I heard my stepdaughter coughing, and I opened my eyes and I looked at the clock. I said, well, there went 30-something minutes.
Hey, something was up, man.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
You know what it is?
Well, you know how we get.
You made cracks. You made wise cracks about I'm not coming back because the owner didn't come talk to me. Yeah. And the girl goes, "Let me slip a little of this in there.
Slip a little Zai Jing in there or something."
Good Lord!
Y'all didn't even eat. Well, y'all ate the same sushi.
It doesn't matter. We ate the same restaurant, Stephanie.
We didn't eat that much.
I love that.
We didn't.
But you didn't eat. But we ate the same restaurant.
Yeah, we didn't eat that much.
The fortune cookie.
That's what it was.
His said love you long time. Ours was like sleep you long time.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is, everybody thinks that the show is just 2.5 hours. No, there's a lot that goes on before it. And
well, you figure our craziness starts at 7 a.m. Now we're already wound up way before 7 because we're all up before 7. But technically y'all get here at 7 and it's until what? Till you get to your front door.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just wanted to point out the fact that I had my phone in my hand because I generally, if I'm doing something, I have my phone in my hand because I'm contacting other people. I talked to Miss Frost, Andy Frost, yesterday. I talked to Colonel Carter over at Logistics for the military to get some statics stuff for the Walk Among Heroes. But I just want everybody to know that last night I was still getting texts about work at what was
like
it?
10:30.
10:40 is the last
Yeah.
text. And I figured if I just stopped answering him, he would go away.
Who
Wait
was
a
doing
minute.
that?
You.
Oh. No, at the time we were dealing with
Oh, I understand.
said information. And here's the thing y'all need to know. When I send you something like that, it's
Mhm.
not always a conversation. It's just me sending you information.
That was for you, Twilight.
Yeah, he said he's just gonna sit. And
How
cry.
about you don't offer him sex like that on the show anymore? Because that was
Oh my
weird.
God, that joke at the restaurant. It's like I laughed.
Which one?
I laughed
Because
into
I mean, there's
the
like
wee hours.
we don't stop laughing.
No.
Hello, we went over the bridge, right? Pointing at Harley, we're going over the bridge, and then it's like, let's turn around. And I almost busted a Yui on top of the bridge. It's like, how about I go down here and turn around? You get lost in the funny zone with us. Like reality does not exist outside the bubble. I should have just taken a camera and let it record from inside the van.
No. No. One, you would have caught all the things we were saying about you when we left you in Harley.
Exactly. Y'all denuggeted me. I got this.
We were gone.
We're gonna let y'all listeners, whoever's listening right now, gets this inside tip. And whoever watches the video now or later will get this inside tip. Stephanie, what?
Go ahead.
Golly, woman.
Sorry.
Can I ask?
Yes,
No.
go ahead.
What is the one thing that I ask out of you at everything we go do together?
If you're not back in 5 minutes to come save you.
Come get me.
Oh, I thought it was don't talk while you're talking.
That's true too. Good Lord.
I sent a text.
Well, that makes you one step better than Tyler because he didn't even send a text this morning. So
I gotta tell you, it was my idea. I said, let's go.
y'all just left me standing there. And I get wrapped up in these conversations sometimes with people, and I can't figure out how to get out of the conversation. I've got 15 things to do, and I can't sneak off. My one rule is, Steph, if we're going in someplace and we're supposed to be there at 8, and at 7:55 we're walking in the front door, and somebody stops me outside to talk, I love you guys. I'll stand there and talk to you forever.
Yes, he will.
But I got somewhere I got to be.
Well, I think the beautiful thing about this is we watched you.
Yeah.
We observed you in your natural environment.
And y'all
for a
decided
few-
to sneak out.
Well, I got to tell you that we looked at you and we said we should probably go rescue him. And then I was like, no, let's make voices like what they're saying. So we were
Oh
going
my
like,
God. See why I need the video camera hook for y'all.
So we were going like, yeah, I'm DJ Scotty. I love to talk to people I don't know. And then the other guy was like, look at this white boy. Look at it talking to me about Harley Davidson's.
Do you want to know what we talked about? Let's
You and
hold on. No.
motorcycles.
Let's do a comparison to how you thought the conversation was, and I'll tell you what the conversation was really about.
Well, yeah, but that's not fair because I think everybody knows I'm not working off of all my cylinders.
No. I promise
Neither
you.
is he.
Hey, I promise you're gonna laugh. What do you think the conversation was about?
Well, you guys were standing next to a motorcycle, but you weren't looking at a motorcycle. And it was two guys that were obviously older than you.
Yes.
And they had their Harley gear on.
Yes.
They were wearing their stuff. Man, I don't know, car insurance.
Okay.
Gummy bears.
So it started out, hey, what's happening? Blah, 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 blah. And a medical thing got mentioned. I said I had just started going to a new doctor. He was mentioning that he was diabetic, so he has to go to a certain doctor. And the rest of the conversation was about Viagra.
So you were talking with two older Harley guys about Viagra.
But we were talking
Wow.
about I went to this new doctor, and I really am picky about doctors. And I said I knew I had found the right doctor when I was I was sitting on the table, and he leans against the desk, if you will, and he dropped the sheet word, and he said something, and it was so funny. I looked at my wife. I said, I like this cat. We're gonna do something with him. And because I don't like being jerked around, and just be honest. Just everybody be real. That's one thing me and Mr. Mike over here will agree on, no matter how much he tries to get under my skin. It's all about being real. And
Absolutely.
so yesterday's conversation, he had mentioned, that he has to have somebody that's like that too. He said, because, at our age, we go in there and men do not want to discuss things. Nobody wants to look weak. Nobody wants to admit to having soft feelings. Nobody wants to admit to being soft.
Sensitive.
So
Diva.
it's important that you and your doctor can have conversations.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, it's just like me. I've got type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And he said he has to be very, very careful with what he eats, what he does, what he does. And he says, and Scott, I'll be honest with you. He says, there's sometimes, because I had brought up the word testosterone, saying that I don't feel like I'm as energetic as I used to be, and I'm used to being a hyper person. And I know that since my surgery and I had to walk on a cane, the doctor explained that when you operate on L5, that's all the nerves that go to your lower, from your belly button down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he said some things could change, and it wasn't just about sex, but he's talking about everything could change.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you don't know is your testosterone, it
controls
makes,
more than what
that's
you
right,
think.
it controls more than just your boners.
Yes.
He said boners. It's 7:41. So when that got mentioned, though, he mentioned that he's diabetic, and he says, look, I'll be honest with you. He said, there's times that I need a little help. He said, because I'm diabetic. If my blood's not right, my sugar's not right, my insulin's not right. And he said it's very important to have a doctor I could talk to. So that's where the conversation kind of went into. It was cool. The three of us guys who are not like best friends had a real simple, normal conversation, which I think everybody in the world should be comfortable to have a normal conversation.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. In the United States, people have these hang-ups, about sex and about this and about that. But when you travel abroad, it's not like that. I guess the big thing for me was the UK. I was doing a little work in the UK, and do you know that every day in the paper, and I can't remember what the name of their big paper is, there is a topless woman. It's kind of like breast of the day, and there's always, are you getting that same message I got?
No. It was about rescheduling. I had a phone / Skype type interview this afternoon that just got changed.
So, you see this now, then you go from, open countries like that, France, Switzerland, Germany. Germany, there was always, we went to, so many nude bathhouses, nude, pools, everything. The problem is that what you don't think about, because all the guys are like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of 19-year-old hot women, but there's also that many freaking 62-year-old women that have been laying out in the sun since they were 9. And they look like burlap sacks,
Yeah, they don't look like.
Hey, honey, is that a Versace bag that you have on your chest?
No, those are my real breasts.
Those things look like old dry.
Come on, man. Give us a good morning, man.
Oh, really? Is that what you're saying? I do find inspiration. I used to, before the first computer crash, I did have that clip that I would play at the beginning of the show, which eventually tonight's thing was about getting us swapped over to the Mac.
Oh, very cool.
That's what kind of stinks that he can't right now, which is okay.
That's a very sad story though.
What's that?
The truth about
Vietnam?
The Good Morning
Vietnam
story.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, that was a very, 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 very sad story in real life. You know what? Talking about real life, my grandson, and I don't know if he's listening today, but he generally watches the show with his friends and all. So it's pretty cool. He says, this is my grandpa, and they call me Poe, but it's cool to have a cool grandpa, I guess. My grandfather was character chore. I can never get that said. There's a difference of a character drawing and a caricature. Caricature. Yeah. So it's just caricature. Yeah.
Okay, getting a caricature because a character and caricature are two different drawings.
Very much so.
Thank you. So caricature is the draw.
Don't subscribe to YouTube.
Is the drawing that I'm going to show you. I've got one of me and Crystal Miller, but I would like to get of all of us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the drawing I'm envisioning would be that body with that head.
I've had somebody do that.
I think that would be really cool for the show.
And I've had somebody do that.
I do want to find a person to do those, by the way.
I've had a young lady, I was helping her family because their dad was deploying, and I took a lot of interest in this family because, you know, hey, when dad leaves, yeah, they get paid more money and all that other stuff. But the problem is before dad leaves, you know? So right as they're getting ready, and this little girl, she was probably in about 9th grade, but she was just an amazing artist. And she drew Kung Fu Panda Po in a military uniform, and the name tag said Madsen and all that other stuff. So I had that hanging in my office for years.
Yeah, on the commercial break, I'll go grab the 2 drawings that we have.
Yeah,
because I wanted to get drawings
of everybody.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
And check this out. So I saw a picture yesterday that I wanted, and I thought about it would hang over the door, but now that I look, there's not enough space.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going to put it. But it's a large, probably about the height of the screen, a large thing. It says Abbey Road.
Oh, cool.
And you would know what that is,
Yeah.
but not a lot of other people. So that's the only reason I didn't get it. It was
I'm
like
a big-
$12.
Yeah, I'm a big Beatles fan.
Well, I got a lot of Beatles pictures that used to be on that wall. And my thing now is it seems like everything I want to hang, I have to put behind camera because it's going to stand out too much.
I got a great idea.
What?
Why don't we move
Send it
the
to your
studio?
house? Man, we didn't. You know what it is? I didn't measure that building yesterday,
let me
but you
tell you
did
something.
walk it. You looked up, didn't
I
you?
got close to it, and I started to tremble.
Is that like
That's good. That's
okay?
a good
I didn't
thing,
know
yeah.
because
You know, I
sushi does
pray
that.
about-
Sushi does that to my
We
stomach,
hadn't
so I
eaten
didn't
yet.
know.
We
if-
hadn't eaten yet. Remember? When I pray about stuff and pray about it, it could be because I pray about it from all different angles, because those times that I'm doing things like that, I get insight. And when I walked underneath it yesterday, and because the reason why I got the trembling when I walked underneath it is because you mentioning it when we were going over the bridge.
I think it's neat.
And
I think it's very neat.
I looked over there, and then if you noticed, I looked right back to the straight because
I don't know if the left or right's wide enough, but the depth sure is. Let's catch this real quick. Just for Fun Radio, how can we help you?
Oh, if you only knew.
Please tell me you're out of the shower.
Oh, God. I hate when they're
Yes,
wrapped
I'm on a
up.
waterproof phone.
I'm out of the shower.
There
I'll
is a
tell you
God.
what I'm doing now.
No,
Please don't.
better have nothing to do with a Zippo lighter.
No, I tried flipping my phone. It won't work, but
You're a sick man.
oh my gosh. I actually went back last night when I finally got home. I got home about 7:45 from High Point last night. Sat on the back porch and cut on the show yesterday morning because just trying to load the truck, I really didn't get to hear the whole show and listen to it. Dude, you all had me rolling last night. Bree was laughing. She was actually.
Wait, what is that song? You see me rolling my Segway. It's talking about White and Nerdy.
Well, yeah, but you should have seen the pictures of the girls I was posting to the show. I'd not where everybody could see it, but I guarantee you there'd be some flour and some rolling with those girls. How about that last
that was
one?
disgusting.
Redneck Stephanie, it was not disgusting.
Yes, it was.
It was funny because while I was listening to the show, Bree sitting next to me, actually quoting the show word for word. It was hilarious.
That's scary.
Yeah, no, we just loyal listeners.
Well, you know, we have a guest coming in today at 9 a.m. And you know what's so funny is when the guy answers the phone, he goes, "Hey, this is Sam. Hey." His last name is
Hey, this is Sam. Oh,
Yeah, his last name is
okay, I
Hay.
get it now.
So he goes, "Hey, this is Sam. Hey." And I'm like, "Hey, Sam. Hey."
It's like my older brother. His partner's name is Martin. So I always had fun with it when I'd leave. Back then, when you had answer machines, it's like, yeah, Steve Martin and I aren't here right now. Because my older brother being.
I just want to be smart and go up to him and go, "Hey, Uncle Martin," and him be like, "What?" and just kind of go behind his head.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to see video for that one.
Yeah, I had that buddy of mine in the military. His last name was Miner, and it was so funny because we'd get drunk and we'd be sitting at a bar, and he'd start yelling at the bartender, "Hey, that sign right there!" And the guy'd go, "What?" And he goes, "My last name is Miner," because it'd say no minors allowed.
Yeah.
And oh God, he used to use that joke every time we went anywhere. That and when he made Sergeant Major, it was really weird because then he was Sergeant Major Minor.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, I made that up.
I'll tell you what.
Mm.
I saw. It was an interesting trip. I got to High Point, and Human Resources didn't set up my hotel room. And when you're in High Point at pre-market, there are no hotel rooms, so I almost had to sleep in my van, which isn't cool.
Oh God, yeah.
Had the cops called on me Monday for not paying a guy.
Really?
Hmm?
Yeah, one of the guys. I contract a guy in High Point to help me wrap and load everything. His name's Clifton, and then he contracts his little help to come out. Well, one of the guys was demanding that he got paid at the end of Monday, and Clifton's like, "Well, I pay at the end of the job." And the guy started getting mad, so Clifton told him to go home. So he comes down to the truck, starts yelling at me. I owed him for 3 hours, and I better pay him. He was so he turned around and called the cops on me. And I had no idea what was going on.
Cops don't get involved in the collection
That's
process.
the domestic thing. They're going to be like, you need to
They
take
showed
that
up.
to court.
I mean, believe it or not, they showed up.
Are you
I
serious?
was like, yeah. I mean, luckily I had walked down to my van to grab some furniture pads for loading, and I guess they couldn't find them and took off or whatever. But yeah, it was insane.
That makes absolutely no sense. The police officer doesn't get involved in the collection process.
Oh, no doubt.
He must have said something else. You know, people lie now to the cops.
That's right.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that? People also call and say they stole my cocaine.
Well, you know, I have 3 dogs. I got a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull, and a little miniature Dachshund. Shut up, I know it's feminine. Okay, so when my grandson is coming home,
Are you talking about your dog?
Yeah. So when my grandson is coming home, right, he's at the mailbox. I let the dogs out and they run straight up our driveway to the mailbox, which is right at the end of and they bark and they make a big deal about him coming home. Well, the next door neighbors who are from Jamaica and obviously practice voodoo when they're smoking pot, they start screaming. The lady and the kids start just screaming. Their hands are above their heads. Ah! 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 And they run in the house and call the cops on me.
That's just ridiculous.
So the cops show up and the cops show up and animal control shows up. And I'm like outside, and you guys know me pretty good. I'm like, well, talking to the officer, I'm like, buddy, you can stay. Animal control, bye. You're not taking my dog. I don't care what you do. Nothing happened. And so I was talking to the officer, and he goes, okay, look, I got to give you a little verbal warning thing. I said, yeah, that's cool, brother. No problem. And then he goes, so did the dogs run them into the house? And I'm looking at him and I'm like, the dogs never left my yard, dude. They came straight out. About that time, my grandson came out because my daughter's a cop and my son-in-law's a cop or was a cop. So, I mean, my grandson's not scared of him or anything. But this is what the folks told him, that our dogs ran down their driveway and chased them up into the house.
They've been watching Channel 2 too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, no doubt.
People got to make a story if you want to get the cops out there. Freaking
Oh,
hands
yeah.
up. Don't shoot, man.
Yeah, I actually
No
had
doubt.
animal control come to my door, knocking on my door one day,
But that's Travis.
saying that my dog was out chasing the kids in the neighborhood. I said, "Well, my brown pit bull."
Do you know? And I've proved this to be a fact. You do know that by law they technically can't just come up in your yard. Like
Really?
I demanded one to get out of my yard. He shows up in my driveway in Gwinnett County. He showed up in my driveway on a Sunday night at 10:30 and hit the horn.
You know, I heard the exact opposite.
No, I went outside
Yeah.
and I looked at him and I said, yes. He said, I've had complaints about your dog being outside the fence. And I said, nope, been home all day. She's actually been in the house with me all day.
Yeah.
Well, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you need to get the F out of my driveway. He says, I'll call the cops. I said, you do that, but you get the hell off my driveway while you do it. I said, you have no legal rights to be on my property. I said, first of all, if you thought you had a problem, you should have come here during business hours. You don't show up at my house at 10-something at night. I said, so you need to get to stepping off my driveway now. I said, but you go right ahead and call the cops. I said, but if you own off my driveway, I will be forced to remove you. He literally sat out in the driveway till the cops got there. The cops didn't even pull in my driveway. The cops walk up and looked at him after listening to both sides. And he told the guy, he says, you should have come during business hours. He said, secondly, the gentleman told you that his dog has been in the house with him all day. And all you say is that a neighbor said that they saw a black pit out and you just randomly drove to this guy's driveway. Did you see a dog when you pulled into the driveway? No. Then how do you know? Well, I've seen it before. I said, you only see my dog out in the yard when I'm home. Yeah. My black dog does not stay outside.
Buddy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard the exact opposite. I heard that I heard that animal control could go in your backyard.
No. If you have a locked fence, they cannot legally walk. If it's latched, if it's just latched, they can't legally go into your back. Yeah. Do you know if you take the carabiner type? Yeah. You put that in your gate latch. Do you know that if you unlock that, that's the same thing as kicking in my front door?
Yeah, they're not allowed to go.
They are not allowed.
Well, I'm gonna find out. I made a little note.
How about code enforcement? Me and code enforcement's got into it, and he brought up something about some ladders on the back of my porch, leaning against my house. I said,
"Well, I'm gonna bring that up too."
Hang on. I said, How'd you see my ladders? He said,
"Came around back."
He said, I said, well, let me get this right. I have a locked gate that you can't legally access. All my neighbors have fenced-in backyards. I said, so are you telling me that you hopped a neighbor's fence to obtain a view of my backyard? And he goes, no. I said, I didn't think that's what you just admitted to. I said, you need to get off my property.
And that's like if you have a privacy fence because I have a 6-foot privacy fence and had code enforcement stand on an old cooler.
To look over it.
Yeah, they're not allowed
That's not legal either.
Nope. Actually,
they can obtain. They can only obtain.
The judge told
they can only obtain stuff by plain sight, and if your front yard is not fenced, and they just walk up into your yard to see something. Yeah. How about this? Me and them got into it over this. So technically, your front yard, your definition of your front yard is the front left corner of your house and the front right of your house to the street. So if you take a 90-degree turn and go past the corner of your front yard, it's no longer your front yard. That's the side yard. So I had a house that was built on stilts. It was stilts. It was a beach style house. Yeah. And then they later closed in the basement.
Yeah.
We came home with a cooler one day that had the little cup holders on top of the cooler. We decided to leave the cooler sitting there. We drank some beer on the front porch. We left the cooler there.
Oh my God.
Code enforcement comes up and says, you can't have that on your front porch. There was 2 lawn chairs, the fold-up camping style chairs, and a cooler. They said, you can't have that on the front porch. And I said, it's my house. I can do whatever I want. And they said, no, it can't be on the front porch. And I went, define front porch for me. And they defined front porch. I walked up the steps because my porch had an L on it. I then took the coolers and put them on the opposite 90 degrees. You could still see them from the front. But it was not technically on the front porch. And she just looked at me and she said, well, that's legal. I said, thank you. I will use your own words against you.
I think we hit a button with DJ Scott.
No, I don't. I do not like bullies. I looked at her and said, this is my front yard. I can drop trout in if I want to.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in touch with animal control and code enforcement.
But animal control will tell you that it's legal for them to do that, but it is not because Judge Rudy Horn told us differently.
Well, we
were in court.
I've already gone to court over you're not supposed to legally have more than 5 dogs on your property in Rockdale County. We had to go to court. That's how I found out the law on videotape. The judge told me that anything I want to do, I can video if it's in public. Yep. If it's in public. If I'm not on your property with a camera aimed through your window, then it's not invasion of privacy. If you walk out in the backyard and you can clearly see in your backyard without standing on a cooler looking over a fence to obtain said view, if I can stand on my back porch and see you walking outside in your underoos and with a toilet scrubber brushing your teeth, I can video it all day long.
And that is your backyard.
Yeah, you can video someone's house as long as your property is in the screenshot of the video.
Yeah, as long as you're not on their property video. And if you fart outside, it's your butt.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Is there any way I can get a copy of that video with Crystal in it?
No, there's not. It's not. That's not. It's a lady next door. And it was really funny because I was told by code enforcement and by animal control to do this said video. And then the judge is the one that was like, yeah.
Is there really a video of Crystal?
No, it's not my wife, dumb butt. So, Jeff, how about you? Let's get back to what you were.
I'd buy that video.
Originally called for.
You know, Crystal married down.
How about how about our pickup line, sir?
Pickup line. Let's see. Now you're gonna make me think. I had it last night, and damn,
Which is
baby,
the one that you?
Hey,
Well, just tell us the one that worked on your old lady, because we know there was one.
This ain't the one that worked on my old lady, but it's like, damn, baby, you never have to go to a doctor. I've already checked you out, and you was fine.
Oh my God! Is that the one that worked on her though?
No, actually, she's the one that picked me up. No, actually, I asked her if she wanted to ride to the store and buy some cigarettes with me.
Right.
Yeah, trailer.
We were at Dylan's the night her and I met. We were at Dylan's. I mean, this was a Friday night in the bar, and there was 5 people in the bar, and they were all employees. And I was going up to meet. I was going to meet Chelsea to shoot pool with her, and Bree was sitting in the pool room shooting pool by herself. So I was like, "Hey, you want to shoot a game until my daughter gets here?" Started shooting pool with her and talking for a little bit, and then she's like, "Well, hey, I'm gonna go get some cigarettes. You want to ride with me?"
You know what I see is him saying, "Hey, honey, you know, play with my stick. I'm gonna see if I can get my balls near your hole." That's a pool table joke. I'm just saying. I see him doing it.
Oh God! Hey, Karina,
Fixing to sink the 8 right now.
Yeah, good morning, Karina.
Hey, Karina,
What is,
overseas in Germany.
What is
So,
what?
you know,
I was trying
on
to
the
change.
way back from High Point yesterday, right before you hit exit 173 on 85 after you cross into Georgia.
I have no idea, but just go with it.
I can't remember the name of the exit, but they saw the coolest sight. You ever seen a jackknife truck?
Jeez, that ain't cool.
No, really, not 100%.
You ever
Usually,
seen
I
it?
just seen them flipped
Ever seen
over.
a jackknife trailer though?
Oh, did the
Not the
trailer
whole
split?
rig.
Was it a
Trailer.
double? It was
Yeah.
a trailer
It
pulling a
looked-
trailer.
No, I mean it was a standard semi, and it looked like someone just stepped right in the top in the middle because it was folded. The bottom of the trailer was actually sitting on the ground, fully intact.
Weird.
It really was. I'm talking about the bottom of the trailer was actually sitting on the ground, and it looked like an accordion. No other vehicles around, nothing. Looked like it just, I had no idea. Someone stepped on it in the middle.
Cool.
It was interesting. But then after going back, like I said, I didn't get to hear the whole show yesterday from loading the truck, in and out of the truck, blah, blah, blah. So I replayed the show last night. And I heard something. You talking about downsizing your package?
I'm sorry, you must have been listening to a different show.
What show were you watching? Pornhub?
The cable package.
Oh,
that-
yeah, trying
my
to get
God.
the cable package figured out.
God, if I downsize
Thanks,
any
Jeff.
further, yeah.
Oh, no, I heard, and I'm like, it's just the way he worded it, I'm thinking about going to a smaller package.
Dude, I'm
Oh.
telling you, I'm spending like $175 a month on just television. My wife, when she read the bill, I mean, come on. She wanted to kick me in my testicles.
I mean, it's like highway robbery.
I started thinking last night, how many me and Mike had this conversation. We'll probably have to have it off air. How many shows do I really watch
Yeah.
on these cable channels?
Oh, that's right. You guys were bugging me about the Video Mix app.
Yeah,
Now,
I
I
could
did-
never get it up.
He tried to tell me this yesterday, so I'm gonna bow to him. It is only an Android feature.
Okay.
You cannot find it on the computer. In other
Okay.
words, you can't
Okay,
watch
yeah.
it from computer. You
Right.
can only watch it. So I'm gonna have to buy. Well, I have to research first.
Okay.
I have to buy a tablet
Okay.
and then find a tablet that will allow you to try to shoot from the tablet to the big
Well-
screen. If not, I have to be stuck watching the tablet the whole time.
I know I do that. I like that, but being military, we always laptops and little tablets.
So you're
are
used to
perfect.
looking at little things.
Yes, and we downsized my package. So
That's hilarious.
this thing's got a HDMI cord. I'm wondering if you can HDMI it
That's what I'm
to
curious
that,
about.
and then just throw that to AV.
Let's find out, because if so,
If so, we could be watching movies right now.
Here's our tech tip for the day from
Tech tip of the
Military Mike.
day.
If so, I could buy that, even if what did that cost? Don't just quickly
$300.
$300.
But that was a while ago.
But
This thing's
but
old.
but $300 is only 2 months of my bills
Mhm.
Hey,
as far as my
I
TV
got you,
bill.
Got you.
So
got you. Yeah.
in long term, I'd save money. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
I just got a PM from one of your listeners telling me to shut up. I talk too much.
Who sent that?
Jacob.
So Jeff's now got to shut up.
Jeff, it's not hard. You just got a wheelchair tackling.
Oh my God.
Hey, Hey, so when does he do down?
Man, I don't know because I didn't pencil it in. Jacob, I need you to send me the message again.
It's a shut up.
I
Jack.
know
I
he
think-
mentioned around the 15th.
Yes, I think he's going to be here the 14th or the 15th. My wife's going to die. Let me let her know because you know what she said to me the other day? Why didn't you tell me that Twilight was going to spend the night out? I got the room clean. I said, honey, he didn't even want me to clean it.
Yeah.
He just wanted a bed to sleep on.
I get a little nervous going in the to go to the kitchen though. I do to the refrigerator.
Why?
Yeah, it's scary in there.
What?
I thought you wasn't scared of
Oh, because
stuff.
the
Very
clothes?
cool.
No, I mean I'm not scared of human beings and I don't believe in ghosts. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about wow.
The clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we are
Yeah,
clothes
yeah.
whores.
You,
You should see my closets, dude. I'm not lying. I did a count one time, like 3 years before I moved here, and I had over 250 t-shirts and 700 socks.
Yeah,
Damn,
2
you only
years.
you only got to wash once a year, man.
Technically, what happened was
What
They
happened
usually did
was
back in the day.
when diesel went up to like $5 a gallon,
Yeah.
I drove to Houston. And it got to where when I was driving through Winder to Houston every day, my fuel expense was going up like $250 a week,
I can
right?
imagine.
So what I did was the houses we were remodeling, I got permission to stay in one of the houses. So we got it fixed. And after it was fixed, I stayed in it.
Mhm.
And then it was cheaper, no joke.
Oh, yeah.
It was cheaper for me to go to the Dollar General and get 4 of the gray Fruit of the Loom shirts for $9.
Right.
And the shorts I could get for a few bucks. And it was cheaper for me to buy new socks, new shirts, and new, and I didn't wear underwear, and new shorts. But anyways, it was cheaper for me to do that than it was to drive back and forth.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time.
So I came home one day and I would come home
Yeah.
only on Friday nights, and I'd take all my dirty clothes and toss it out. And if I did laundry, great. If I didn't, but one day I did a count, and there was over 170 some odd gray work shirts, and I had something like 20 something pair of shorts, and then there was a huge freaking pile of socks.
There are times that I will sneeze, and I'll put a skid mark in my
Oh, no.
underwear.
Why did we go there?
So I'll just run over to. Let me tell you something. Drugstores, man. Drugstores. I would go in there and get a pack of underwear and some chloroseptic spray.
Can I ask what the chloroseptic was for?
I used to spray it on my McDonald's breakfast burritos. It makes it kind of like a menthol scrambled egg. It's really good. You got to try it.
God. What the halo? Where did that even come from?
Who the hell knows, man? This stuff just.
I
comes to
thought
me.
you were just going to say,
Wow.
well, it helped for swallowing. I don't know. Wait, Tyler, does that work, Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler Collin. No, you got to get
We're
those.
going to hell.
In a handbasket. When did you figure this out?
Freaking DJ Scotty's pitching on Tuesday. Come on, man. Remember what we were talking about?
I am not.
It's after 8, sir.
I know.
I know. I'm you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years ago though, talking about all his clothes, he said that
So last
2
time-
years.
That's the
2
last time he
years
did
ago-
laundry.
No, Travis was supposed to come over and go through all of his stuff and whatever
Uh-huh.
he couldn't wear anymore.
Yeah, that's happening again in a couple of days,
Yeah.
by the way.
That never happened.
I know.
So it's never happening again.
What you don't realize is, look, what you don't realize is this.
And you're the redneck.
Check this out. If you walk in that laundry room,
Uh-huh.
there's a 14-foot closet
I-
that's slap packed full of my stuff. You don't see it because it goes
Yeah.
from the steps all the way back.
Yeah.
Then upstairs there's a rack that I'm going to end up giving to her husband of all the really cool shirts that I bought that are basically still brand new that I've not worn because they're too tight on me now.
Okay.
And there's
So-
still like 14 bags of clothes from where I moved
If-
to here that are still in the garage.
If
And
that's
he
the
needs some
case-
shorts because we got to get rid of the mammal toe shorts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you've not seen the mammal toe yet.
Oh
And
my
I don't want
God.
you.
Yes,
I have
you
a
will.
question. If you have all these clothes, why don't you ever have clean clothes on?
Because there's so many we haven't had time to wash them.
Oh my God! So you have so
I just go
much
buy new clothes.
You have so many clothes that you
Oh,
can't
hey,
wash. them.
Scotty,
Yes,
I'm gonna let y'all get
Thank
back
you,
to
sir.
the show 'cause y'all have overtalked your commercial
I know.
3 times over.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Plus
bro.
you-
Love you.
plus-
Thanks for calling in.
Plus you get
No
paid by the
problem.
hour.
Hey,
So.
Jacob's listening.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gonna be down on my birthday. We gotta go out and celebrate.
Okay. Well, we'll see you. We'll see everybody then.
Bring a
When's your
ramp.
birthday?
Love you guys.
All right, later, dude.
Bring a
Bye.
ramp.
Bye.
Bye, sexy.
Bye, sexy. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, we had a call in and we didn't catch it in time. Let's go to a commercial. We'll be right back. Everybody, it's just fun in the mornings.
Quit calling me sexy, man.
Who was the caller?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know? It's a 404 number.
Oh, 404 what? No, I have
Just-
a point.
Just.
Cool. Yeah. My Uncle Joe was supposed to be
It's
called.
769. 404 769. Start
Yeah.
that in your
When's
phone.
Andrew coming in tomorrow?
Yes.
Come on.
Andrew, can you ask him about the Skyping hookup thing
Let's try that after the show.
today?
Because that way I can run a test. Because we already know that means all I have to do is add Skype to the computer, I guess. Compatible apps.
No, don't do it now. Don't do it now.
No. I was
She's-
just looking
I
at
can have her ready. You see what I'm saying? I mean, she
live stream.
called me yesterday at like 2:00.
So
She said,
check.
good night. I'm like, crap, it's right for like 8 hours. That is.
So chat, live stream, messenger. That's what it's messenger. So yeah, we'll see.
Hey, how about that about the dude from Leonard Skinner? That'd be great, huh?
What are you talking about?
It'll probably
This goes out to Jeff. This goes out to Jeff.
The guy that was with Leonard Skinner.
Is Jacob coming in April or March?
This Saturday.
Okay, let me fix
Isn't
that.
it this
Because
Saturday customer
Jeff
service?
thinks that he's coming April 14th.
No, he's supposed to be coming in this Saturday. Right, Jacob? Send us a message and tell us again when you're coming in. Because remember, I said I was going to be at Harley and he would be
Mhm.
showing up while we were at Harley.
That's right.
That's what I thought. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I'm telling Jeff that he's coming this Saturday. Oh shit! My crazy husband woke up in the middle of the night to go stuff his face. He said, "Cool, no kids this weekend."
Oh. I'm tired, but I'm not like tired. I'm tired because I'm tired. Anybody get that?
This stuff ain't working to wake me up like Monster did.
Yeah. Have you ever had that spark stuff from Africa? Oh my God, my daughter and son-in-law and ex-wife, they all swear by it. I can drink a gallon of it. It doesn't help.
Well, this is the. It's like it's Walmart's brand of Mio's Energy, where the that you put in the water.
Yeah. You ever tried those little orange packets? Not the Mio. It's like the old Crystal Light things that you dump in a bottle, but they're made by great value, and they have orange burst. Those actually work. They have
I
some.
wonder
like,
if it's the same thing that my sister-in-law got.
It's really good.
Yeah, because
I think
this
I-
was something, but it kind of had a little bit of a vitamin.
Yeah, I think it does.
Taste.
I think that might be.
But
but it's
this
still
was
really good.
strawberry. It was strawberry, orange, and grape.
And these have the ones with chamomile.
And we're back. Tech Talk.
You get like a strawberry lemonade.
How about you start over so the people that are saying strawberry lemonade, what, Mike? Because once we go live, whatever
Right.
conversation you're having either needs to stop or explain.
Well, or they could just subscribe to YouTube.
Or they could just be
Come on.
driving down the interstate and this is how they listen.
Well, they could still subscribe to YouTube. No, what I was talking about was I'm writing a song that I'm going to submit to Paul McCartney called
How I Did It with Kanye.
strawberry lemon
In the sky.
beret. I just made that up.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
my
apparently.
goodness.
It's kind of a song about a walrus, a submarine. You know, we all live in a yellow
A
submarine.
walrus and a submarine.
Yeah, I am the walrus.
Are you the walrus?
And the fish that went blub blub.
Yeah, what the hell was that you sent yesterday? She sent me a text yesterday that had a sweaty fish on it, a pile of dog poop, and a monkey closing its mouth. I'm like,
wow, that's like that's
what
like.
the hell is this?
Excuse me, that is like Egyptian hieroglyphics, right? This is
Holographics.
whatever. This is. I was trying to make a joke.
Yeah, holographics.
I'm going to mute you. I was trying to make a joke that it's redneck holographics.
Exactly.
She's trying to indicate to you that her thing smells like a sweaty fish
No.
and it's real close to the poop.
and we don't want any monkeys talking about it.
There you go.
I text
No.
back something like, I don't even know. God, man, it's ridiculous. And then she texts me a broken heart. Why did you text
All
me?
right, we got to catch this call.
Oh, okay.
Just for Fun Radio, please save us from right now's conversation.
Just for Fun Radio.
Hey,
Oh, here
It's
we
him. So without Mike being a D nugget for 30 seconds, you got 30 seconds to try to squeeze this in really fast before he D nuggets you. Now start.
Well, you're going to be very, very happy for me because
Don't waste seconds on using the word very twice. Hurry before Mike bust.
you're never going to.
15
what
seconds.
happened last
You
night.
better hurry and get to the point. He looks like he's about to burst.
10 seconds.
Call me.
She called you. Come on, put your face to the phone. Let's hear it. And
5.
And she's legit.
how is she legit?
Let me guess. She's too legit.
To quit.
Too
no.
legit. Too legit
legit
to
to
quit.
quit.
Too legit. Too legit to quit.
I'm
Okay,
a
sorry.
catfish.
Okay, sorry, we broke out in song. So explain to us, how is she legit?
I think I broke my microphone.
Because
I smacked that.
Smack
on,
my-
I got it. I was just.
on occasion.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Listen, because of the way gravity works, it's going to keep spinning.
Guys,
There you go.
guys. To explain.
We're trying, but what you're not you're missing this over here. Is I oiled. What?
You gotta get away. Put that thing away.
Think of the Tin Man. Oil.
What?
I oiled the bracket that holds his microphone, and because of the way the microphone's designed and counterbalanced and everything else,
Oh God!
It-
It's a freaking
it-
microphone.
he leans it one way, and because of the angle he's leaning it, the weight of the mic turns the mic.
Okay.
I think-
Okay. I'm muting everybody. I'm gonna mute everybody, but Drew, it is open microphone for you to keep your face to your phone so we can hear you. But
Catfish.
tell us what happened.
Thank you. Thank you for telling. Don't tell anybody to shut up. Okay. What happened was, I on occasion listened to her voicemail because up until this point she didn't answer the phone, so I would listen to her voicemail, and when she called last night, I could tell the voice matched her voicemail.
And that proves what?
So are you
What does
confident?
that prove though, Drew? Get to the topic. You got some non-believers listening to this.
Only a 2.5 hour show.
Get to the point. How is she legit? What did you unmask? What did you figure out? What happened that has made you believe everything's on the up and up?
Because she actually told.
Because she actually called?
Yes.
Hey, Steph, could you call my phone and pretend to be a girlfriend?
Yes, I sure could.
You could do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, you could call me in a girl voice and pretend to be a girlfriend, right?
Oh my
No.
But that's my point. So give me facts. Give me facts on what the conversation was.
Well, okay. You want proof? I'll give you proof. Okay.
Give us the blue dress, Monica.
I texted her yesterday, hey, I was expecting a phone call last night. And then about 4:30, she was like, what? And then I said, do you remember our conversation we had Sunday? She was like, yeah. The one where I said I was busy. And I said, no. The one where you said, sure, you could call me Sunday night. And she said, I was still busy. And then I said, well, I'm sorry. Could you give me a call? And
Yeah, but what kind of relationship? I don't mean to interrupt, but what kind of relationship do you think you're having when somebody just says, I'm too busy, and that's it? That's
and
that-
it's a text message.
that's direct, that's point, that's simple,
Yeah.
zero emotion.
Text message.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. I just want you to kind of see what you're saying. Sometimes you have to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just not just say it, but you need to listen to your own words.
Keep swimming, catfish.
military, Mike.
Give him a second, Mike. Don't hang them yet. Let's hear it.
Before you jump to conclusions, you know what? You are something else.
Come on, Drew. Let's hear this, dude. Get to some points. What did we figure out?
'Cause it's still not sounding good.
I figured out that her voice actually matched her voicemail, and that she's legit. It
Wait,
was just her.
But we never said that she doesn't exist as a person. That's not the question. The question is, who is she really?
Mm-hmm.
Is she honest with you? All that stuff is the question. Her being a heartbeat and having a pulse and blood running through her veins was never a question.
The way she was stringing you along.
Mike was joking, saying it could be a dude, but that's just him joking.
Yeah, but the way she was stringing you along, not wanting to call you, not wanting to, you know.
Let me call her.
I know, but no. You're not doing that.
Truth hurts, brother.
I only trust DJ Scotty.
Truth hurts.
And you know, this is what we should do. Anytime that we have somebody that has a relationship that they need to question, give us a shout. We'll get to the bottom of it for you.
Truth hurts.
Yep.
But DJ Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Something just told me call her last night, and she actually answered, and I just think she was tired, and that was all. Anyway, I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning to thank her good morning. Guess what time she gets off today?
I believe, and this is just my opinion, she's stringing you along, dude. She's stringing you along. I mean, very simple. If anybody that would be having a relation with me just would be like, I'm busy. No, that's unacceptable, dude. That's not the correct answer. Now, for instance, this is just a for instance. Drew tries to call me at 9 something last night. I'm trying to unwind. I got the baby. We're trying to get the baby down, and I didn't answer the phone. He's like, you need to call me. Me and you can speak tomorrow. That's two guys chatting. I couldn't talk. He understood it, period. Now, if you're having a relationship with somebody and they talk to you that way, that's not much of a relationship. Love Lines with DJ Scotty.
And see,
Skid marks with Military Mike.
maybe it's my fault because I'm not telling you the whole conversation.
Because what?
But
He's not telling you the whole conversation.
Well, what good is it for you to tell us you're going to be honest with us if you're not even telling us the whole conversation now?
Yeah.
How can we help you help yourself?
Well, he doesn't want to tell us all the information because he knows he's going to get his feelings hurt.
Yeah, because
Sometimes hearing the truth might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear.
Amen, DJ Scotty.
Sometimes you can't see inside your own bubble. You need somebody on the outside of the bubble to look in and say, dude, that's not right.
Karina, you really don't know what a catfish is? Seriously?
A catfish is a bottom dweller. A catfish is a creature that eats any kind of crap that hits the bottom of the water. The catfish is the most disgusting creature on the planet, sir.
No, not really. But Karina in Germany doesn't know what a catfish. I guess maybe it hasn't gone European.
European. You said she's European.
I guess the reason why she answered answered the phone.
Get up on that phone, bro. Because if I can't hear you, I know the listeners can't hear you.
I'm gonna say
You need to invest in a
I'll
Bluetooth.
buy him one if he wants.
You need a Bluetooth.
Okay, I will get one. But I guess the reason why she
Phone. Put your face to the phone.
The reason why she didn't call you back is because she doesn't exist.
Well, she exists, but she doesn't.
No,
She's stringing him along.
She's
Absolutely.
pretend.
Yeah, she's pretend.
But DJ Kelly, I think the reason why she answered the phone is because I put my foot down.
I think that the reason she got up on the phone is because her little scam was about to be busted and she had to do whatever it took to keep you hooked on that line. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how the fishing term, you got to give a little slack on the line before you break the line?
Mhm.
Before
Tech
you
tip.
set the hook.
Tech tip from Andy Cagle's Fishing.
And whatever you do, do not send money to her. Do not ever send money to her. Period. Or gifts.
I know.
But accept a Mercedes if she sends one to you.
But here's the reason. She hasn't even asked me for money yet.
Yet.
Did you just hear the word?
Yet.
You just said the
See
word.
that?
You just said it.
Let me finish. When she asks me for money, that's when I'm gonna run.
Nope.
No, you won't.
You'll be too far in it.
You've said the word yet.
Yep.
And you just said when she does. The problem is this, bro. You will be so hooked and in depth at that point that you will be like, okay, honey.
No, but I am not naive.
You say that because you're not there yet. Other people have been there. We already know how the string along goes.
Dude,
Mhm.
You're young, dude. You'll
Yeah.
find out. Welcome to the world of life.
Yeah, man. It's happened to me, dude.
I'm telling you, I got in my car and drove all the way to Stockbridge just to be set up like that.
And she'll put you on some
Yeah,
sob
my word.
story that she needs this, she
Yeah.
needs that.
I mean,
and you will
remember, I
fall
went-
for it.
Remember, I went and met the one girl at Starbucks for her to go, yeah, I got a doctor's appointment. She kept using the words, I got a doctor's appointment. Now, anybody with any sense is eventually going to ask, what's the doctor's appointment about?
Yeah.
And then basically, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
She admitted she was pregnant. And you know what that means to me? I need to get on Plenty of Fish and I need to land me a guy real fast because I'm about to be a single mom.
Yep. And where's Jacob?
Huh?
No, I'm sorry. Drew. Sorry.
Drew.
I was thinking something else. Let me tell you
Jacob's going to send you hate mail.
I
for
don't
that.
care. I don't care.
Come on, get up on that phone, bro. You're killing us.
Here's the thing. We have listeners all over that are freaking Facebooking me, and they're saying, "Hell no! Tell him to get rid of her, please."
And these are
He's
females.
just gonna get her. Yeah, that's a
These
woman
are females messaging us to tell you that you are getting used. That's not, please understand, Drew. It's not just DJ Scotty. It's not just Military Mike. It's not just Steph. Steph is pretty close to a female too. But these are females.
Just a little bit.
These are females that are listening to the show that are saying, we even got a woman in Germany reaching out to say, Drew, she's using you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would love.
And of
I would
course-
love for you to find love. I really would. You know, that'd
We
be
would
great.
love for you to find love.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all are gonna do anything. but-
love got to do with it? Sorry. We just break out in song at any moment, don't we?
That's great.
But Drew, we're all excited that you found somebody, but you got to find the right person the right way. And remember the old saying, if it comes to you that easy, you might need to question it.
Yeah, the only song we need to be singing is
Well-
Another One Bites the Dust.
Another one bites the dust.
Hey, she's,
And another
hey,
one's
let's word
gone.
it this way. Let's word it this way. And I know what the answer is, but I'm going to say it anyway. So you
Dun, dun,
you
dun.
finally got her on the phone. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
First time you ever had a conversation with her.
Yes.
Have you ever done Skype with her or FaceTime?
No.
Of course not, because you just now got her on the phone. And how did you get her on the phone and why did you get her on the phone?
Because I put my foot down.
And-
Okay, but why did you do it? Because somebody looking out for your best interest said, dude, something ain't right.
And how long have you been messaging back and forth with her, or however you were communicating with her before you spoke with her?
Let's see. We started talking in December.
Oh yeah, no. Kick her
You
to the
started
curb.
talking from December and you just got her on the phone because you had to demand it.
Well, let me finish. Hello.
Hello.
You're getting aggravated, but it's because you're not being honest with us. Tell us
Yeah.
exactly the truth.
No, he's getting upset because it's realization.
It's realization.
it's
It's coming to
realization.
realization.
I was going to tell you, we started talking in December, and then we both got busy, and then we started talking again on February 14th.
Okay, so you started talking February 14th. We're now a month into this,
Mm-hmm.
and you just now got on the phone. Now, paint us a picture of y'all's conversations. I mean, you said to us that was your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So paint us a picture of what you two define yourself as. And again, this is only going to be a definition from you. That's not a definition from her, but a definition from you.
Well, what really got me to this, Scotty, is, you know, most 23-year-olds do not want to deal with somebody like me.
And
Okay? And the first thing she said in December and just now is, I want to take care of you.
but why?
Karina said for you to read the message, Mike.
Hold on one second. Why? Why? Okay, everybody in this world has a thing called motive. Anybody listening wants to argue that with me, go right ahead and argue it with me. But everybody is always going to look out for the best interest most of the time first before they look out for anybody else.
And she
So you explain to me, with you being a handicapped person, why she wants to take care of you. What would be her motive? Because here's what I can tell you. My uncle was in a car wreck. He broke his neck. The EMTs put a collar on him. They sandbagged him. They took him to the hospital correctly. Rockdale Hospital Radiology took the collar off, rolled him from table to table to table all night long. He sued Rockdale and got $1.8 million. Now, as he was sitting in this house, before the money came in, he had been bragging about the money he was getting, and a nurse who comes in to take care of him apparently fell in love with him.
Oh.
And we all went on vacation one time,
Oh.
and I kept noticing that the way she dressed, I kept saying to my uncle who was very racist, I kept saying to him, something ain't right about the way she dresses, dude. And she keeps talking about her kids, and she's never one time brought her kids around. And I kind of made the judgment call. I said, I bet you her kids are mixed. But her behavior, the way she talks, I bet you she's been in a relationship with a black guy. So we then question her. He questions her, finds out she's got kids. He's okay with it. I have no problems with it. It was the fact that it was a lie is the problem. It was a betrayal. It was a hidden fact. And then when the money didn't come in as fast as it needed to come in, they apparently started having relationship problems. Do you see my point here? Her motive was what?
Yes.
What was her motive, Drew?
Let me remind you who told me to get on the phone. If I remember correctly, and we're shooting yourself in the foot. Because if I remember correctly,
Who's shooting who in the foot? I'm not shooting anybody in my foot. I ain't shooting you in the foot. Nobody's getting shot in the foot. I'm telling you reality. You want the whole card. We're going to give you the real stuff, man. We ain't here to babysit you. We're not here to BS you.
Yeah.
Your real friends are going to tell you the truth.
And I'm not even your friend.
There's some kind of motive behind this girl. She doesn't live in Georgia.
Nope.
She wants to take care of a handicapped person.
No, wait a minute.
Why?
Wait a
Why
minute.
would she want to do this?
Did you say she
She
was
sees
23 years old?
yes.
You know, you said she was a teacher too, right?
Yes.
How long's she been teaching?
Well, she just got out of college.
Just got out of college. So you're
She
telling
went to college in Maryland.
Come on, get up on that phone.
Yeah. Okay. Now you said that, 23-year-old attractive women wouldn't be interested in somebody in a handicap. I have a listener that says that's complete bull. I am considering handicap too. I don't take BS from anyone that is trying to scam me. Okay. And then there's another that's basically saying, have her send him an email and have him check where the mail is coming from.
Oh, yeah.
So he can do a header check, which is, the email header.
It'll tell you where it's from,
Right.
if it's actually from upstate or not.
And she said, if it's coming from California, it's a huge scam that's going on. Okay, so Drew,
All right, look, we gotta move on because I don't want to lose listeners while everybody gets bored because some people are into this and some people might not be. We're just trying to look out for your best interest, bro.
Yeah, just consider our point of view.
But let me remind you, you're the one that said I need to get on the phone.
No. Now you want to be argumentative. We're not trying to be like that, Drew. We did say get on the phone. We told you need to make contact with her. You need day-to-day conversations with her on the phone. And don't look at it as trying to be sneaky, but look at it as doing the right thing. You need to know that this girl is really who she says she is. Because let me tell you how relationships work. It's equal respect.
Yeah.
You can't have all the respect for her and her have none for you. That's not a relationship. I don't know where you see relationships, but I've had tons of relationships that failed. My wife had tons of relationships that failed. We both respect each other 100% mutually, which is why we work so good because we've both been treated like crap. So we both know what we don't want in our lives.
Yeah, and I can tell you.
This. She said, I'm boyfriend number 4.
You're what?
Boyfriend number 4.
Yeah, right now you're
right
boyfriend.
now. You might be boyfriend number 4 today. You might be the number 4 guy she's hustling today.
Yeah, you're number 4.
I'm telling you, you have your opinion just like we have our opinion, but we've been around the world a lot more than you, a lot longer than you, and we are in more contact with people similar to you. We have been told this scam over and over and over. You got a person in Germany, dude, the other side of the planet, who is telling you that this is a scam. That means this ain't just happening in Conyers. This means this is nationwide. This is worldwide.
And it's happened to me. And I can tell you right now, Drew, listen, and you know me, on the whole psychology thing. Listen to me. You are defending her.
He's not hearing what he wants to hear.
The manipulation is already starting to become implanted.
Yep.
You are defending someone you've never seen.
I got one girl right now that says she's a dude. Duh.
Yeah. You're being catfish, dude. And you know how you prove it? If she really loves you, hey, just stop communicating with her for a couple of days. See if she gets back in touch with you. She won't. She'll figure you figured it out, and she'll move on to the next one.
Because I can tell you from personal experience, even with my own family, that they see a disabled person and they think you have money.
Stop right there. You see your point you're fixing to make? I want to read exactly what I'm reading in this message on that point. She wants his SSI check and all other benefits she can get. This dude's getting screwed.
Wow.
Yep.
Keep going what you're saying,
Yeah,
but that just came in as quick as you were saying that.
Yeah, that's what people think. And, contrary to popular belief, just because someone's disabled doesn't mean they get a lot of money. Because I fight every day to get.
One listener says, is he on Facebook? Well, that's
Yes.
where I'm sure this. Where did you make contact with her from the first time?
Drew,
you're hearing stuff you don't want to hear, bro, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. Everybody wants to be loved, man.
Nobody's trying to hurt your feelings. We're trying to look after you, man.
Yeah.
Everybody wants love, man, but you just got to be careful these days.
So where did you meet her at, Drew?
Skype.
You met her through Skype.
But
You
but
just
you
type,
yeah, but that's the problem, though. Is you haven't seen her.
right?
I mean, that's the whole problem. Listen to these words. You can make your mouth say anything.
So does she have?
I mean,
a
come
Facebook?
on. I can type the words. I can type anything I want. Hello, I've read everything from a comic book to this crap about that church last night. Man, there's so much crap everywhere.
Here's the one thing she did say last night. She said,
Verbally on the phone.
I asked her if I could call her or text her. She said it didn't matter.
Okay.
So
Wait, though. I'm asking, did you get that as a verbal question or through messaging did you ask that question?
verbal question.
Okay. That's what I'm just trying to keep clarification on.
So she did call me last night.
Okay. For a total of how many minutes?
Well, see, I kind of froze.
I swear we're getting him a Bluetooth for Christmas.
I'll buy him one right now. Son. Just
We need a
tell me which one.
Bluetooth on you, sir.
Does he want the ones that go around his neck, or he want the one going?
I don't
in his ear?
know.
Just tell me. I'll tell him.
See, I froze because I didn't know what to say. Because I was
Really? Out of all the questions you've had, you didn't know what to say?
Look at this. I just got someone sent. It's a disabled world, and it basically is online scam warnings
Yeah.
for disabled people.
Yeah.
Here's one. She probably stalked him and listening right now,
Oh yeah.
realizes he is defending her,
Yep.
and she will continue to use him for everything he has.
Yeah. She
Yep.
knows, she's like, okay, cool, it's working. They're
Because
professionals, man.
Mhm.
They know exactly.
If you're
what they're doing.
listening, I double dog dare you to call this phone number
Yep. Call in.
because we're going to call you out.
Yep.
There's nothing that the person could say that's going to be real.
Hey, next time you talk to her or text her, because you don't really talk to her, tell her to call the show.
Tell her to call my personal phone.
Tell
I'm
her to
okay
call the
with it.
show. I'll tell her to ask for
Dude,
military
again,
life.
we're only looking after your best interest. You're here. It's kind of like an alcoholic defending why they drink. They don't want to
Yeah.
hear us tell them they're wrong.
It's called SUP, SUP, screwed up people, defending screwed up people, SUPs. And the thing about it is that her manipulation is already showing that it's gaining ground on you. And here's the thing. Love you to death, Drew. If you need a Bluetooth, just tell me what you want, in the ear, around the neck, whichever. But I'm done. I'm not going to talk about
Well,
the story
she's
anymore.
going to start telling him personal feelings.
Yep.
She's going to start explaining where she had a crappy childhood and they were poor. She's going to start explaining that a mom or a dad abused her or one died. Jesus
See,
Christ,
there you
Drew.
go.
God, I mean,
Wow.
I'm thinking you hit that one, DJ Scotty. Thinking
She just
Yeah.
you just told me she's already told you all that.
yeah.
Do you not see it, Drew? Come
No.
on, brother.
No, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. Stop. Just stop.
I
doing it,
just
man.
told you that this is what she's going to do. And what did you just say? Oh, she's already done that. It's part of it. She has to.
She's not manipulating me, though.
Dude.
Yes, she
Oh, my
is.
God. She
All
already
right.
has. You're
Next
defending her. You're
caller.
defending her. She's already manipulated you. You're defending her.
Next caller.
Have you ever watched any of the good movies or anything that shows where a woman gets kidnapped and abducted by the guy? Then she finds out the guy's screwed up and starts finding that she has feelings for the guy.
Stockholm syndrome.
Thank you.
Okay, well, maybe I need to talk to her on the phone more.
Maybe you need
Yeah,
to have
I'm
her
t-
call me.
Yes. Well, bro, we're gonna get out of here because you don't want to hear what we got to say, and you're getting aggravated. And truthfully, we're just telling you the truth. And every single excuse me, every single woman that's listening has already been messaging us, telling us that you're getting screwed.
Mhm.
Women are telling you that you're getting screwed. Women. It's not just me. It's not just Mike. Women are telling you she's screwing you over, and you're too blind to see it because you don't want to see it. You
She's got
don't want to hear it.
Well,
DJ Scotty
the
went.
only
"Ah."
thing I can say is
You love her.
a new world that is technology based. It's not like I can go out and meet somebody anymore.
What's her
But-
last name?
But no,
Just
hold on.
hold on.
He's using his disability.
He's now
as
going
a
to
crutch,
because she's already used his disability against him, and
Yeah.
now he's using it
No.
against him.
Yeah.
yeah. And you need to stop that.
Come
You
on,
need to
bro.
stop the,
Come on.
The poor,
Now
pitiful me.
you've really screwed up because what you've done is you've used the words she wants to take care of me. You use those words. She wants to take care of me. So she has used your disability against you. Now you just used your disability against yourself. I'm telling you, I spent 12. Let's just kick down to the damn nitty gritty. I spent from the time I was 8 years old till I was 18 years old taking care of my mama's mama in a wheelchair. Been there, done that. I took her on and off the pot. I handed her the bedpans. I did everything I could as an 8-year-old for my grandmother. And then this grandmother who I got the house from, I had to take care of her and I had to take care of my uncle in a wheelchair. So you're not going to tell me something that I don't already know. Okay, you can defend this whole dating from a wheelchair because Jeff, his brother Brad Matthias, used to party with us, hang out with us. He was in a wheelchair. I already know the games that are played because we watched them played on him. So I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, these women that are listening are trying to tell you, you are getting screwed over. You are defending it. She's already twisted you. She's already got in your brain. And the only way you're going to protect yourself is to remove yourself from said situation. And the only reason I'm being mean to you and telling you this is because the truth hurts and you need to know it. And I'm sorry, but you've got to protect yourself.
If I can get a picture, just send me a picture of her and I'll run it through a database. Since you don't want to tell me your name, I don't think you even know her last name.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, you send me a picture of her. Don't send me anything else. Just send me a picture. I'll run it through a facial recognition database for internet remnant scams.
Here's 2 text messages from one gentleman. Oh my God, oh my God, I just want to slap this poor boy in his face to get him to understand the reality. And then secondly, we are married. Lord knows we are aware of when a woman is taking advantage of us. Dude, I'm just trying to tell you.
We signed up for it.
Yeah, we got the gold membership package. Brother, I'm gonna let you go because other listeners might not want to hear this, and we got to keep everybody happy and go to a commercial. I just want you to know we're only looking out for your best interest.
I'm not.
I'm just telling you. It's sad that this is happening to you. It's just sad.
No, you can only do what you can do. People are.
And what's going to happen is now you're using your own disability as a weakness as well as she is. So what's going to happen is when the reality hits you that she did screw you over and that she did use you, the reality is going to hurt you 10 times worse because then you're going to fall for the same crap you just said. Well, it's not like I can get out there and meet people, and you're going to feel sorry for yourself, and then you're going to need your friends to be there for you. This is just a vicious cycle of a dog chasing its tail.
Wow, dead airspace. Where you at, Drew? You all right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
I'm sorry, brother, but this is what's happening. It's the reality.
Well, no, I'm just
It's not like she even lives in Georgia. She can't come hold you. She can't hold your hand. She's not even Skyping you, man. She's not even Skyping you to make you feel better about the screwing that she's giving you. Pat me on my ass and give me that a boy. At least let me know I did good.
Good game.
I'm just saying, Drew, it's aggravating to know that she's screwing you and you're taking it, bro. You're taking it.
Even if you weren't in a wheelchair, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, dude, I'm not in a wheelchair and this scam was done to me.
That's what Karina just said. She said, look, take it.
But you are worse, though, because she's taking advantage of you.
She knows.
She knows she's got you.
So.
All right, man, I got to go.
Yeah.
I got to go. We got to get back to some just for fun.
Yeah.
We love you, Drew. We hope everything works out for you. Holler at us and let us know. And again, I know you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, and I'm sorry for that.
I'm not.
But you got to hear the truth.
So, bye, Drew. We'll see. We'll
Hey, I got to go get Sam.
All right, our guest is here too, so we're gonna get going. We'll be around, bro. Holler if you need us.
Okay.
Don't be mad at us. We're just trying to be honest with you.
I know.
Okay. All right. We'll see you later.
I'm just
I know. All right. We'll see you later. All right, everybody. Here comes our guest. Everybody, we will be back in just a few seconds. I'm gonna play a song just because I think it's really funny at this point. Wait a minute. I was gonna play a song, but let me change it. It's still going to be by Marilyn Manson though. like that's what we need at this moment. But I just think that it would be a great song to play after the weird discussion that we just had. And it's beautiful people, right? We're all beautiful people.
Did you just go to commercial break?
Yeah. Okay. Man, my throat. I wore my throat out on that one. Poor dude, man. Poor dude. I got to pee. The problem is Drew does not want to accept the truth. I'm sorry. If it makes me an a-hole, I'm sorry.
I'm not really sure what you want to talk about, but remember what we're talking about. So you've got some, I guess, invention for how to do invention, stuff like that, right? All right. So what I'll do is while we're talking about that, I'm focus a little bit on the political side, okay? And then I'm going to say, you're coming on my record the mic, and then it'll be me and the other producer. And then hear that. All right, we can't. That's a later hour show. This is more.
You have no idea that you've met me before. Family thing. I used to date that crazy old girl. Yeah, I used to come in and eat all the time. My wife kept talking about you, and I pulled that fridge. I said, "Son of a gun, that's Scott's daddy." I was just blown away. Well, I have no idea. She, her dad, she closed the restaurant. See, her dad owned the building, and she owned the business. And then she left, and some foreign folks supposed to be bought it out or whatever, but then jerked her around. By that point, she had already disappeared to like a houseboat, Chattanooga. She's led an unusual life. She's somewhere out in Monroe. She bought a house out now.
Can you see?
All I just see is your chair.
That's her, dude. I see her. When I see her, it's a brief bam, boom. Now she's on my Facebook.
Free.
She messages back.
Free.
Yeah, I got chills.
It's just,
I got chills.
They're multiplying.
Well, yeah, they
I
built a big house
all of a sudden.
in between
you're
Walnut
putting them
Grove
here?
and
Yes.
Monroe.
Okay, I
So,
can see.
somewhere near that
yeah,
HD8.
the back of
That's
the
somewhere
chair.
over that direction. Let me put on another song. I gotta go off real quick.
He might
But
have
yeah,
to
she's still
sit
around.
Come on in and have a seat.
Well, I want to tell you one thing. I don't think it's affecting.
Okay.
I have been having a dental thing done.
Uh-huh.
I went in last week for temporary, and it's not working. So every now and then I just think to go, to get everything.
Yeah. Not
Wow.
worry about it. I
What an
fart.
awful time to be doing something.
Oh,
I
like that.
fart. I burp and blow
Yeah.
out people.
This ain't crazy. Well,
Well, you know,
That's what we do.
If y'all are going to have me on board the once, I didn't know. I was just driving over here thinking of the possibility maybe some additional background might be in order.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
And since y'all are kind of music oriented,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to really start.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's the best. We're very spontaneous. That's one of the-
Tilt the camera down just a hair.
me,
Oh, yeah. That was one.
me and Darren Hayes
Hold on, let me do
turned
this.
this stadium in 1959 at the Bats Domino Review
Uh-huh.
when Ray Charles
Step it
recorded
back a little bit.
Really?
what I said.
Ray
Oh
Charles.
God! Now what I say is one of my favorites. You get
I was
you
there.
hit you hit something
Ray
with that one.
Charles, man.
Ray Charles.
And
is
then
man.
we go from there
How
through
about
a
that?
lot of other episodes.
How's that look?
But I had a printing company in Atlanta, and I printed the programs for all the
More towards here. Because you don't need that chair. Nobody's sitting in it. So just get your chair and this chair.
About right there. Sam, why don't you go ahead and sit down, buddy?
Yeah, that'll probably work. Go here.
Now,
And see, we talk about anything and everything.
Well, see, here was my deal for almost 10 years. All the producers in Atlanta, as soon as they booked the show, tickets were on sale. 6 tickets on sale.
Oh, wow. That'd be awesome big. And see, I know Crystal had, yeah, had discussed some of your inventions and stuff. So we can talk about that. And
What, are they going nuts?
Oh, yeah. It's freaking
afternoon, not night.
freaking 20 messages behind. I'm not going to.
Will go good.
I'm not gonna
with
deal
what
with
he's wanting to do. So that could be kind of cool
Yeah.
too.
We need to let that be.
And
Now,
hey,
We don't
look,
want to hear about it.
tomorrow.
So, but that's kind of where he's wanting to go with his own show.
Busy.
That's perfect.
The guy from
Yeah.
We're allowed to have
Without whatever you want. Whatever you want. When you see when we get going, we're open format. We'll talk about anything. We can talk
I can't
about your
hear you.
inventions. We can talk about You talk about the music stuff, anything you want to talk about. We're pretty much open. I just knew Crystal said, man, you've got all sorts of cool stuff that you do and have done. So I'm like, well, heck, yeah, let's get them in.
Sir, we're going to need you to put on your headphones there.
When's the last time you saw Scott?
You know what's funny is
Steph, can you make
he
sure the mic's turned on?
he doesn't recognize me when he sees me. Because when I used to date her, she had made me grow my hair out, blah, 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 blah. So now, like, I seen him and his wife walk out of Kroger the other day, and I just waved. He just doesn't know who I am. That happened, like, when me and her split, I came back into the Covington area because I was from Snellville. People would have conversation because my hair was always, similar to his length or a little more. And
Why you got to point at me?
because then I put my earrings back in and shaved my head, grew my goatee back out, and came back into Covington. People would have conversations with me, wouldn't even know I was the same person. It's just, it's funny, but no, nobody would have.
Okay, I'm not here. Let's get this sound together.
All right, Steph, lean over and tilt, unscrew that flap so that we can tilt the microphone better. There we go.
Just
Sir?
real quick technical note. I need to do a shout out for someone. It's for Jacob. And then also that one gentleman is going to call you tomorrow at 9. I'm just letting you know now on live. I'll send you the text.
I don't know what one gentleman.
I know. The text I showed you.
Okay, tomorrow. That's
yeah,
fine. We
I'm
can
not-
talk more then.
Okay, so at 9 you're going to get a call tomorrow. I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Okay, well, as soon as the show's
So-
over, we'll go over that more.
Okay,
Yeah,
just want to make sure.
Or send me the message.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah, but I'm just, how you got to let him know,
Yeah.
or he yells at us.
I'm Steph.
Redneck Steph.
Sorry.
Yeah, Redneck Steph. So, all right,
And I just got this message. Just know he'll be on talking about the Drew. Just know he'll be on the news as being a scam victim.
I'm done with Drew.
I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm done with it.
So then start talking to him on Valentine's Day. That's talking about Jeff, reminding him he needs to run before he gets married. Sorry.
That's so freaking wrong, man. Start talking about
Mm-mm.
Oh boy, some people. And
I just told somebody from Germany, because I don't like to leave point names out, that go ahead and hit them up. So we were just discussing how some of these scams have been occurring, and we're live on video. That runs the whole time. They kind of want the behind the scenes with us, but we're not live on the radio right now. But we'll be coming up in a minute or so, or 24 seconds.
Mike, send me a
But
message.
we were discussing the fact that a guy we know that's in a wheelchair has been getting hit up from a girl claiming, to want to date him and blah, blah, blah. But she's from up north. They've never spoke on the phone. To us, we believed he was getting scammed. So we told him, you need to get her on the phone. And he still doesn't want to see it. He's already been hooked now.
Yeah,
He's got an emotional attraction.
she's got her hooks in.
All right, here we go. All right, everybody, we are back. If you would like to introduce our guest, sir.
Hey, what's the best thing about introducing him? This is so cool. It's because when I talk to him on the phone, he answers the phone. He goes, "Hey, this is Sam. Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, Sam. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Hey, first things first, I got to apologize. I left you outside the studio for a few minminutes there, but
Not
We
at
was
all.
wrapping up
we
the
were
scam thing.
we were having a heated discussion with a young man that we care about deeply, and he's got an internet female scam thing going on him, and he refuses to see it. And
He's emotionally attached at the moment.
I pointed something out, and he said, "Oh, well, that's already occurred." Then DJ Scotty gave him like 3 things.
I
like,
said,
she's going to
first,
do this.
I said,
this,
she's
and
going to
this.
tell you one of 3 things.
Mhm.
She was either abused as a child from her husband, from her dad or her mom. She was poor. She lived an abusive life, blah, blah. And he's like, she's already done that. Okay, then why can't you see that she's already done it?
So I do apologize, sir, for leaving you outside.
Yeah,
there.
we was in
And-
a heated discussion.
Yeah, and our
That's all
intern
right.
is freaking playing
Gone.
hooky today.
Slack intern. And we don't even know he's listening.
Oh, he's
He's
listening.
listening.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
he's listening.
He's listening.
so
He should
no
be.
show is listening.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
laid up in the bed, freaking
Laid
Eating-
up in the bed.
eating Cheetos.
A guy that comes to us, who comes to us begging for us to show him the world of radio, to teach him, to give him a future, and he don't even bother to text to say I'm not going to be here
Yeah.
until after the show
And he
started.
rides with me. He didn't even let me know he wasn't coming. Okay,
Wow.
enough about all that. Sam, hey, I guess you have a little experience with interns. You ever have any?
Well, okay,
Back
so
then's different.
So I've known of Sam, like I've known him from, if you want to call it a previous life. Years ago, I'd met him in a whole different scenario.
I'm sorry.
So then my wife starts saying, you need to get Sam in the studio.
Yeah,
Like I've talked all these great conversations with him. He's an inventor. He's worked with some radio stuff before. Family owned some newspaper stuff before.
Telling us some great stuff when he first got here.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just really cool. So I mean, basically, who are you? What have you done? I mean, you're like a little secret that lives right around the corner that we didn't even know existed.
You're kind of the girl next door that got old.
Wait,
and turned
did you
into a
really
guy.
just say girl next door?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's me.
Well,
He just spoke of Ray Charles and it was like, what? And
Yeah,
he
we
named
all
my favorite song by Ray Charles. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was 1959. It was at Herndon Stadium.
How about that?
One of my best friends, Theron Hayes, and I. His wife, by the way, is the clerk of the Superior Court in Newton County.
Wow.
Linda.
What?
And
Thank you.
yeah, I remember the car was a black 1954 Ford,
Oh,
and it had a Mercury engine in it. and he waxed it every Saturday. Every Saturday he waxed it, and it just glowed,
cool.
So here we are at Herndon Stadium. We're the only two white guys there. I'm telling you. And so we go in, and it's the Fat Domino show. Or the Fat
Oh, man.
It's a Fats Domino Review is the name of the show. We're there, and they got several warm-up acts, and one of them just happened to be a guy by the name of Ray Charles.
Wow.
And nobody knew who he was. Who's that? Well, we'll stick around and see how he does.
Yeah.
So he comes out and he sings a couple of songs, and the Raylettes come out,
Oh, wow.
the backup singers,
Uh-huh.
and they break into, the first time I'd ever heard it in my entire life, What I Say.
And
Oh,
when he
man.
did that, none of them knew he was going to play that song. It just started. It just came out of him.
Really? So
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I don't even know how long it lasted, but it was one of those 7 or 8.
Yeah, I was going to say it was around an 8-minute song when it
Yeah.
first happened. And it was an
Yeah.
accident. Like he just looked at everybody kind of like, just go with it.
Oh, it was
Just
great.
wing it.
And
Wow.
then after that, of course, Fats Domino comes out on the field in a black Cadillac limousine, and he was Fats Domino.
Yeah.
He put on a good show. But after Ray Charles,
It was.
man, it was nothing.
Yeah.
And how funny is it that Fats Domino was a big deal back then and
Yeah.
Ray wasn't? But
Right.
look in the long run,
Sure.
look who turned
Oh,
out to
yeah.
be the one,
Well, I tell you what, the thing about the music and the presentation back then was so much more involved in the actual listener,
Yes.
because now it's, he gets up there and says, oh, Beyonce just, that crap. But this, just talking about it,
Dude,
man,
if I could go
I'm
back in
thinking,
time, because back in
good.
time, back then, the review they would have, because I remember seeing different movies and stuff. You would have Richie Valentine, you would have the Big Bopper, you would have all the greats in one place
That's right.
Yeah.
doing
Mhm.
one big event. And this is before events were big. I mean,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this- you went
it's like a high school gym back
right,
then.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
City Municipal Auditorium.
Nah,
See?
there you go.
See,
See,
Exactly.
look at that,
Good
man.
example.
That is good.
And of course, it was as far as the demographics were concerned, back then it was about the same as Theron and I at Herndon Stadium.
Right.
Mhm.
And some friends of mine from college, Don Carter, his brother Ronald Carter worked at one of the banks in Covington. When we were in college together, he and another guy drove to Atlanta to see a review. I can't
Right.
remember who was there, but they wound up getting drunk with like all the people that were around them,
No way.
Yeah.
Back
y'all
in the
were
day,
drinking?
really.
And within this demographic pattern, my two guys from college went home with some of the people from
Oh,
that
man.
were attending the concert and spent the night and spent the day Saturday with them.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Isn't that
Oh,
something?
wouldn't it? I mean, come
And see,
on.
look, what people don't realize, and Mike's never really done a big event with me. But a lot of times, a lot of the people don't know that when I'm tuning when I say tuning, I'm trying to get my volumes right.
Right.
But what you don't realize is I play oldies. I mean, I start out and you'll hear like my little GTO. That gets me set. Then I go with the line "Sleep Tonight." That gets me set in another one, and then the Banana Boat song, because I can take any of those. What you don't realize is how the voices and the music are all these different octaves, and it allows me to get tuned up.
Yeah.
If I can get those type of songs sounding great, plus it just gets me hyped up. I get to listen to my oldies, and that gets me hyped up.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. When I hear "Sugar, Sugar," dun, 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 dun,
Mine's
dun,
Mustang
I'm in
Sally.
a great mood, man.
Yeah.
Mine is Mustang Sally. I mean,
Okay.
if I'm gonna do anything, Mustang Sally gets me charged up.
Sam's
Sam,
I was
there's
looking-
melody coming from your crotch. No, it's all right.
we
It's all
discussed
right.
old music. We made them happy.
Yeah, really.
I'm just, the oldies are just real music.
Yeah.
Just real music. Okay, for instance, how about this? This would just be a great topic because we're talking about old music. Yesterday, it came out that Pharrell and
Pharrell and
crap, what's his name? Anyways,
Lines,
Blurred
dude.
Lines guys now have
Rob
to pay
Thicke.
7.1 or 7.8 million
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
they supposedly copied the song. Here's the problem: is back in the days when music was first coming out like that, it was all original. Well, now how much can you create? Everything is starting to sound like everything because you don't have a choice anymore. Like every guitar riff has already been done. Just about every melody has already been done.
Yeah.
And now to know that they're going, that this family that has, excuse me for saying it, they pissed away all of Marvin Gaye's money,
Yeah.
had to leech off of
Absolutely.
somebody else's,
Right,
money.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I don't agree with it. I certainly do not agree with it. It curtails creativity.
that's right. And
Yes.
everybody's kind of sounding like everybody nowadays.
I was about to say it's gone.
Well, they
yeah.
did a thing. We showed a video. Somebody similar to myself took a program that you edit music with, and they took 10, 20, 30 songs of today's country.
Mhm.
They blended it. In
Oh
other
my
words,
God.
they take a couple of words out of this guy's song, a couple words out of this guy's song, and they put it together. And what you don't realize is almost, and it's now when he did the words, he took the beat, the music from that song too. They blended it so perfectly together that it can go from this voice to that voice to this voice to this voice. And it's all about, and it shows, and also it also shows that every song has to do with fishing, getting in your truck to go mud and hanging out with your girlfriend. But you put like 10, 20 songs together and they made one song, and you can listen to it. You can tell it's changing song to song to song, but it still sounded like one song. It shows how everybody is just carbon copied Legos.
Yeah. Well, here's another one for you. I had a cousin who was a Broadway actor for about 18 years, and he's originally from Nashville. And I'll tell you about some time I used to spend up there with the old timers. But I was kind of enamored by some of the older performers. And just as an example here, relative to the conversation, Gene Kelly was one of those people. You know?
Oh my God.
I mean, I was like, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And I'm just really enjoying people like Ginger Rogers and Gene Kelly. And I did have dinner with Ginger Rogers one night.
Oh my God.
And-
That's
and-
epic.
Yeah. And
That's
I
epic.
thought I had lost my program that she signed for Sam from Ginger, but I found it
Oh,
when I
epic.
moved into my most recent abode, which was such a thrill. I can't even tell you.
No.
But as soon as I saw Michael Jackson, the first time,
Yeah.
I said, he stole every one of those moves from Gene Kelly.
I'm saying.
And then,
And everybody tries to say, "Oh, he was an innovator." Come
Right,
on,
right.
we all. Hello, think about this. Your time frame, and I don't want to take away from your story, but because we're on this topic,
You're old, by the way.
people talk about rap. Everybody talks about hip hop and who created it. I always want to argue and go, James Brown.
that's
James
good.
Brown was the first rapper, and they're like, no. I'm like, go listen to the Big Payback.
That's good.
Go listen to the Big Payback and tell me that he is not the absolute 100% creator of rap, because hip hop and rap, James Brown was already doing it, man.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
listen to the Big Payback and tell me that that's not. If you take the
The
Big
same.
Payback and put a hip hop beat behind it, it's the same music.
Sure
I'm
it is,
sorry.
sure it is.
Keep going with the Gene Kelly stuff though.
Well, it was probably, let's fast forward 25 years. and I see the lady, the choreographer that worked with a lot of the performance early on. Why can't I remember her name?
Old age.
Who?
Really?
I said old age.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why you can't remember.
That's it. Yeah.
I suffer from it. What is that?
Anyway,
I get
she was on
lost.
a talk show, and she had worked with Michael Jackson early on, and she admitted right there that all of his moves came from Gene Kelly, and I had known it for 20 years.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So are we going to have Gene Kelly's family
Come sue.
suing Michael
No.
Jackson's
That's right.
Oh, God,
state?
I don't know.
because they stole all of Gene Kelly's moves? It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Okay, I have a point I want to make because we have so many generations of music people right now with me. During the 70s, remember when the whole mood synthesizer, and you could literally do an entire song and never see anybody else that was in the group.
Yes.
I could send you the DAP and we could bounce it all around and we could all do our own thing. And then the music all became so incredibly stupidly redundant.
Well,
But-
that's today's society too.
Okay,
It's kind of
but
like
that's
bell
what
bottoms came back.
changed. That redundancy, that idiotic freaking sound that finally went away, paved the path for some of the new music.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, think about this. Let's do this. Garth Brooks has admitted, if it wasn't for me watching Kiss Alive 1 and 2
Yeah.
and going to Kiss, I would have never made my show be theatrical and big.
There
Then
you
so now we got Garth who copied Kiss. Now you
Mhm.
got Kenny Chesney who copied Garth.
Garth, right.
And who and I'm gonna say it, and people can argue with me all day long. And I believe that Kiss copied Alice Cooper.
Yes.
Probably
Yeah.
right. You're probably right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's just my belief.
Look at. Do you ever watch any of the reality shows with Gene Simmons on it?
Mhm.
Okay, he tries to act like freaking Alice. Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
I mean, come on. The man.
But the point is,
dresses like him,
but
he
the point
acts
is
like
this:
him.
how many people, say born in the '80s, can say they know who Alice Cooper is,
Right.
but they can say they know who Gene Simmons is? Hello,
Yeah.
how many times have we made the joke that some idiot that was speaking on behalf of Kanye West said the words, "Yes, some cat, some cat named Paul McCartney is going to get famous now because of Kanye West."
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you smoking dope?
Okay,
That's Sir Paul
Yeah, that's
McCartney,
Sir
dude.
Paul
I watched a
That's Sir.
video.
That's
Yeah.
Sir Paul McCartney.
I watched a video. I'll try to find it again on Facebook where there are three guys and one guy brings up the whole, how long does it take you to go 80 miles if you're
Yes, I
driving
know.
80 miles per hour?
Right.
And these two idiots sit there for 5 minutes trying to debate this and figure it out. But that's what.
And
that's
Jeff
what we're dealing
Matthias throws out Twisted Sister Motley Crue. Now, come on.
with.
I remember being in 6th grade and got a People's magazine,
Mhm.
and it said Motley Crude.
Crude.
That's because and at the time they were dressed when they were doing the Live Wire,
Mhm.
the look, and the Shout at the
Looks like
Devil
hell.
album had just come out.
Yeah.
And at the time they came into People magazine, and you got to think we're now in late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
right?
82-ish.
So you got to look at Kiss was fading out.
Mhm.
Kiss was 78-ish was their big moments. Kiss kind of faded a little bit. Motley Crue comes in with the makeup on, but we still got to say Alice Cooper.
That's right.
How does Sam? How do you go from having an enjoying a meal with Ginger Rogers to
Yeah.
today watching that dumbass on the radios or on TV going, "Oh, Paul McCartney's gonna be famous now."
No.
That span. How do you? I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I'm serious. Thank God I'm medicated.
Yeah. Well,
Wow, I
on,
didn't even
on
know
the
about that.
subject of
We'll-
McCartney,
Me
We'll
neither.
go with that.
a lot of friends of
just got
mine
that.
in the UK, when Scotty said, "Sir Paul,"
Yeah.
a lot of them believe that it really was about Sir John. Had it not been for Sir John, it would be no Sir Paul.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You know,
And
I've never
and the
thought
bad
about
thing
that.
is, if John wouldn't have left the planet, where would we be today?
God only knows.
Mhm.
We
so
might-
we're blaming Oko, right?
No.
David Chapman.
Well, I'm using the for instance of if the man was still walking the planet with the mentality he had then,
Uh-huh.
and this is just my opinion, our world was not ready for him then.
Well, okay,
Right.
But
now,
our
are we-
world is ready for him now, and he's not here.
That's right.
Are we talking about him leaving through Oko, or are you talking about his death?
I'm
His
talking
death.
I'm talking about him being gone from the planet. I'm the only meaning his death.
Okay, but there, you know as well as I
The
know, where I'm
Oko
going.
thing is
There
just
was a
crazy.
Big change in all of
Yes.
this when Oko entered the
Yes.
picture.
There
Right.
was.
At
There
the
was.
point of his
Yes.
death, you know who Julian. I mean, that was about the only creation that was going on there.
Right.
No,
But-
he did Imagine at just before he was.
and it was horrible.
You don't like Imagine?
Is the
Dude,
bad. Actually, he did the song.
there's another band that has redone Imagine that I could show you the video to.
Yeah.
And
Kane West.
Perfect Circle redid Imagine.
I don't like
Wow,
redos.
amazing. No,
You
you
like
would
redos?
no,
I
you
don't
would
like redos.
you would actually like it, especially if you watch the video, because they're talking about the planet and the situation we're in and the battle
Yeah.
of all the religions, and
Yeah.
it's cool.
Well, would the world be at peace if he
That's
was
right.
still with us?
Yeah.
That's
No,
right.
You don't believe in
Right.
world peace, do you?
I have to ask.
Oh
that
God,
question,
military
you know?
Mike.
No, well, because I know Sam, and I'm saying, do you believe there is ever a possibility of world peace?
I don't think world peace, but
Thanks,
yeah.
Sam. Got a kind of a girly voice.
Well, you know, she
The
does it
only-
all
That
the
is my
time.
initials.
The only thing that could possibly happen would be if the unexpected aliens came to
Jesus
us. We may
Christ.
have a united world.
Yeah, because one of
stand
them's going to
together.
come down with a big gun and say, "Be nice, or I'm going to kill you all."
Yeah,
No.
that's possible too.
Sam, what I'd like to do.
The problem
too
is corruption. The corruption of the world
That's
is the
greed.
problem.
Greed.
Greed.
Yeah. Okay, so aliens are going to come down and be greedy.
No,
No.
my point is, the alien's going to come down with a big gun and go, "Y'all are either going to play nice, or I'm wiping you the hell out."
I don't believe that. I believe that they'll come in and they will destroy the indigenous
I
possibility.
I understand that.
But I don't believe in aliens.
I said the only way you're going to make peace is with threatening. I'm going to kill you all.
Yeah.
Play nice. It's
So-
like kids. I'm going to put you in a timeout, or you're going to play nice.
Sam, I'd like to invite you to come on my show.
Yes.
The World According to Mike.
I think
And-
you two will do a great
yeah,
show.
and we'll discuss those world issues
Sure.
because I bet you we have. But we're both gentlemen, so but I believe we can have some good debates.
Now, but only quickly do I even want to bring this up, because if people don't know Sam, by the way, I have one listener go, "Yay, Sam's in the house. I love Sam." So one of our listeners know exactly who you are. She said she loves you being here.
There you go. buddy.
So
Wow.
Sam coming into the World According to Mike and being an afternoon show will be perfect, because what a lot of people, if you know who Sam is, Sam, from what my wife's told me, like, you know, you're well rounded, like you've done so much.
I'm well rounded.
but You're perfectly rounded, like Buddha. But
you want
but
to rub my belly?
but Sam, no, because last time I did that, a Pop-Tart popped out, and it was chocolate fudge. So with Sam has a lot of stuff that he does in the political world, and he knows a lot. So I only want to address this really quick,
Here
because
we
we don't
go.
do political.
Here we go.
How does your listeners, and you don't really keep up with Rockdale, but I'm going to say this though, real quick. We're only going to go political for a second. How does your listeners feel about the chairman of Rockdale, Odin, requesting for a $50,000 vehicle for him to drive? And my biggest question is this: Mike brought up the conversation about one of the other councilmen commissioners having to work a full-time job. I said, because this ain't like DeKalb County or whatever.
Right.
There's not enough revenue to give these guys a full-time salary. They have to have a real job.
Yeah.
So how odd is it that you're working, if you're I don't want to keep saying Commissioner Odin, but
Yeah.
chairman, you're the chairman.
Give
If
me
you're
a
working
break.
a part-time job,
Yeah.
part-time, why would somebody give you a $50,000 vehicle to drive
Yeah.
all the time
Give me
for
a
a
break.
part-time job?
Give me a break.
So that's all the political I
I
wanted
was-
to do. A listener, listener requested that question to be asked, so I was going to air it.
Just to let you know too, I'm going to do a shout out for Steve Taylor. He's listening to us in Wascom. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, dude. He's listening to us from Texas. But hey, man, I appreciate it. He just wanted to say good morning, Sam.
And I just got
hello.
So
Well, I'd like to interject something about the vehicle, if I may.
yeah, go
Please.
ahead. And
Yeah.
wait, before you do, how about this?
And I'll make it short.
It says political. That is right up Sam's alley.
Oh my gosh.
So see, you'll fit in the world
Yeah.
according to Mike.
do we have to do
I
with the
think so.
disclaimer right now? Because he said he's going to talk about
Yes,
it.
here's the disclaimer. Anything that is said is not exactly my point of view. It is his point of view, but I probably going to agree with the guy. So if it's not your point of view, Suck eggs. I'm sorry.
Or
Is that the
turn
disclaimer?
radio
Is that
off.
the disclaimer you were looking for, Mike?
Not the business legal one I had, but
Go ahead, Sam.
Not even close. No.
We're just for fun, dude. Everybody has a right to an opinion.
Well, my grandfather was sheriff of Newton County, Georgia, turn of the century, 1890s, and he was the guy that was the sheriff when that old jailhouse was completed. So my dad, who wound up as the clerk of the Superior Court in Newton County, my uncle Tom Hay, who ran the family newspapers, and my uncle Ike Hay, who wound up as the chief legal counsel for the Interstate Commerce Commission in Washington. Those three guys were actually born in that jailhouse.
Wow.
I thought they did pretty well. But anyway, fast forward, when I was probably, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you might say I grew up in the courthouse, but I was always attentive to what was going on politically, even as a little kid, because I thought so much of it was nuts. And
yeah, good point.
what I want to bring out here is the vehicles that people drove back then were $25 Army surplus Jeeps, for God's sakes.
Tell them.
Huh.
And I don't care who you. I mean, even the superintendent of schools, Whitlow Richardson had one.
So we need to give the chairman a used water department F-150.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, the military is selling their used Humvees for like $2,500. You know,
Man, I need one.
They're nightmares.
Oh, you can't buy one. They're just to government agencies.
Yeah, it's a GAO
Damn.
type thing. But
I
you
think
don't
it would look good with just for fun written down the side.
Oh, yes,
what do you
it
mean
would.
I don't want one?
No,
you know how to
it
work on it.
I wasn't a mechanic.
Yeah, but you wrote it enough. You should be able to tell me what parts are parts.
Oh yeah, but you don't want one. I mean, if Just for Fun Radio wants to buy an H2,
So I might as well just go buy a boat because you know
No.
that sinks all your money too.
Just for Fun Radio, let's get a real H2 and put
I can't
graphics
afford
on
that.
it. No, well, nobody wants you to. I want Just for Fun Radio to buy it. You ain't got any money.
Like we're making money here.
Oh my God.
Well, golly,
Sam, please go.
we talk about boats too. You know?
You like to fish? You look like a fisherman.
Up until
I
2
know his
years
son
ago.
does.
Well, I'm kind of I really need some psychological help. I've got like
You're in
I
the
had
wrong
like
place.
14 boats up until a couple of years ago.
Hey, my dad had 8 wives, and the 8th wife was his second wife. You want to talk about addictions?
I'm not going there at all.
I'm not driving through Covington on the way on. That's for sure.
No.
14 boats and 8 wives.
Well,
Sounds like a good country song. Dustin
Yeah.
Bragg,
Why
Paige
not?
and Dustin Bragg. We need to write a song.
That's right.
Yeah, you have nothing to say, Steph? Seriously.
Just shut up. We
okay,
don't want to hear from you anyways.
Thank you, Steph.
Really, she just
So
sat
Sam.
there. She sat there with nothing.
It's just crazy listening to.
He's talking
his
about the sheriff
stories
at the
and-
turn of the century.
Yeah.
This dude,
I mean, it's
my
awesome.
wife says, my wife just
cool.
says every day that she'll like if he comes into the store, she'll say, "Sam came in to say hey today." And but every day that she talks with Sam, she tells me something else amazing, and she's like, "You really need to get him on the show." I said, "I really want to.
Yeah.
I've just been busy, so I have to rely on other people that help to kind of reach out." But that's when I said it to him. I'm like, "Dude, we need him because I think just about any well-rounded conversation we could have, you know something about it. I mean,
Yeah.
just from what my wife said, and even from the lady that
Yeah,
keeps
I mean,
texting right now."
blowing up. So.
Well, I had an experience yesterday, I think. A guy by the name of Neelis Wheeler. I went to school with him. I'm not sure he's my age, but he came on my page and he said, I don't like one of the comments that you made in reference to Obama. And
That's happened to me, so I had to
Yeah.
quit making Obama
That
jokes.
happens
Yeah.
to me daily.
Yeah.
but the comment wasn't specifically about Obama. It was about an act that he did. And it was, I had used something as an example, which was similar. And this guy gets all bent out of shape. And I'm thinking, this guy just doesn't know. And there's so many people that come online and they don't really know. They haven't researched. They just got the tip of the iceberg, but they start making all these, they start laying out all these opinions and ideas about everything.
Assumptions.
They don't have no foundation for. Well, what he didn't know was, family-wise, speaking of Sheriff Hay, he had to take prisoners from the jail in Covington to Stone Mountain to court. It was called a Stone Mountain Circuit.
Sure.
And by buggy, it took
I was fixed to say this is way before cars now.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to
Yeah.
envision taking
right.
somebody from Covington to Stone Mountain. And we're not talking Old Covington Highway didn't exist like that.
It did.
Mhm.
But it's not paved, fool.
No,
I'm saying,
yeah, but Old
yeah, but-
Covington Highway
yeah, but,
did,
but
didn't it?
my point is it wasn't paved. You're
Oh, I
in
know,
a buggy. You're traveling 8 miles an hour at the most.
Right.
My grandfather used to talk about Covington Highway when
Yeah.
it was like a
Well,
dirt road. It was,
Yeah, the big
But they're
problem
cool.
that I used to hear about was Snapfinger Creek. Everybody got stuck, and and they had buses
Because it was a creek.
yeah, they had buses back then.
Right.
These old, big, huge, giant things that look like a shoebox, sitting
Mhm.
on a frame, and everybody got stuck going through the creek,
Wow.
and there would be a traffic jam,
Right.
at 1924 at Snapfinger Creek,
That is
just
hilarious.
like there is today.
Right.
Some
Isn't it?
things never change.
Yeah. Some
It just
things never
looks
change.
different.
That's right.
So, what I wanted to tell you in reference to this particular comment by Mr. Wheeler, that I was racist, bigot, or something like that.
Yeah.
This goes way back. I have Native American ancestry on both sides.
You want a card? One of
So-
our. Never mind.
So,
I was waiting for the dirty look.
so my percentages come out real strange. I'm like 3/8 Cherokee.
Oh yeah, he could get a card. He could get a card.
We can open up a
Yeah,
casino.
right.
Oh, Sam, hey,
Right.
casino,
We can
baby.
do that.
There's a joke in reference to that. We
Well-
just don't know about.
Well,
Let him finish his story.
I am.
Every-
Shut up. You
Shut
have been
up,
talking
Chef.
the whole time.
Every
'Cause I'm
time.
listening.
Every time we start off in one direction, then something comes up and we get sidetracked, right?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Casino. There's a
I love it.
guy.
I love it.
There's a guy by the name of Mitchell Wright who was born and raised on Floyd Street, and he mustered out of the army in Paris, and he decided to stay over there. He and his buddy, who lived right across the street, Aubrey Welchel, both went in at the same time. Aubrey wanted to fly, and Mitch just, he wanted to be a reporter. That's what he had done.
All right.
So he actually didn't get to be a reporter at that point. He wound up on a double 50s, and an aircraft gun. And he was in Normandy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, somebody
ahead.
from Bamberg, Germany.
All right.
Karina. She just said good afternoon to Sam.
Hey, honey.
So it's afternoon there, obviously.
Sure,
But
5
you're-
hours, about 5 hours.
You were talking about France. I apologize for
Yeah,
the
it's
interruption.
all right.
but the
That's all
shout
right.
out. So
So Mitch musters out in France. And, after the war, the French government gave any of the servicemen who served on French soil all the benefits
Hey.
just as you were a citizen.
yeah,
it's
Wait a minute. We're back to Obama and,
Yeah.
and Mexicans.
and the VA here in the
Yeah,
United
that's
States.
pretty close. But Mitch got a job living in one of these big old mansions with a general. And one night he's coming in the Jeep, and he's of course riding for the Stars and Stripes. There was a European edition, and there was
American edition.
a Japanese edition.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. A Pacific. They call it Pacific. And so Mitch sees all this stuff going on at the guard shack, and he gets out of his Jeep. He walks over, and there's a reporter there from the London Times trying to get in to interview the general, but he doesn't have the proper clearance. Mitch says to the MPs, "Why don't you just let me take him in and let him do his interview, and I'll bring him back out?" I said, "Sure, Mitch." So, go through all that. And the guy gives Mitch his business card and says, "If you ever need anything, call me." So,
That's dangerous.
yeah. So this guy's with the London Times, and Mitch calls him, and he says, "I'd like to get a job working for the London Times."
Wow.
And the guy says, "Well, what would you like to do, Mitch?" He said, "Well, I'd really like to be the Paris correspondent." And the guy says, "Okay, when do you want to go to work?"
Oh, geez. Can you imagine?
And Mitch says, "Can you do that?" The guy says, "Yeah, I married the publisher's daughter."
Oh, yes.
Mitch,
Pull that
I'm
string.
never in the right place at the right time.
yeah,
Right.
Mitchell Wright, who grew up on Floyd Street, before you go down that first hill coming out of from the square, that house that sat there in such ill repair for so long while Mitch was in Paris is now painted yellow,
We'll have to look for that.
much to the chagrin of all the neighbors. They
Can
hate it.
imagine.
They live in these big white mansions.
Big white houses,
Right.
right?
And so everybody's calling me up because they knew that I knew Mitch pretty well. Why don't you talk to Mitch and see if you can't get him to change his mind? And I said, no, I'm not going to do
My
that.
luck, he'd paint it blue.
Because, well, I went by there when the painters were there and they scraped all the paint off down to the original coat, and it was yellow.
Hot
Oh,
dang, that's
God.
cute.
Isn't that something?
That is funny.
So Mitch spent from 1946 till 2 or 3 years ago in Paris.
Wow.
Amazing.
Little old Covington, Georgia boy.
And you know,
I like it.
here's the question: you live in Paris. Why would you come back to Newton County?
Really?
I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. The demographic change.
Oh, okay. So everything's changing there, just like here. Then.
He lived on, give me a minute, De Clichy in the art district.
Gesundheit.
And if you look, I think there's some cameras. You know how these worldwide cameras.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody was showing me some of the different areas in Paris on camera because I have a friend that's over there right now, and it's all people with black covering over the head.
Mhm.
Oh, that
A burqa.
whole ISIS stuff. Right?
Yeah.
That kind of looking stuff.
Now let me tell you who's over there. Here we go again on another story. On Floyd Street again in that sharp curve, on the left-hand side going toward Walmart, lived a family by the name of Grant, and one of the siblings, Barbara, who owns Court Reporting in Rockdale, still lives in the old family home. Her granddaughter, whose name is Sydney Wright, is 14 years old. In November, they went to New York after having sent some pictures of Sydney to a couple of modeling agencies. They went back in January, and Calvin Klein says,
Oh, God.
don't send out any more pictures of this girl. We want her exclusively. So if you would like to see another Floyd Street character,
Jeez.
personality, just go
Yeah.
on Facebook and look up Sydney Wright, and you will see Sydney, and there are some other girls from the agency. But as we speak right now, gentlemen and lady,
Yeah, use that term loosely.
Yeah.
Sydney Wright, a 14-year-old from Covington, Georgia, is on the runway in Paris.
Jeez.
Wow.
I am
Oh,
never
she's a
in.
cutie.
I am never
she's
in the
beautiful.
right place at the right
Yeah.
time ever. My whole life. My life is nearly over.
Hey, and just because we're saying right here, right now, I just want to let everybody know my buddy Billy Fallon, who does all the equipment stuff with me, does all my computer programming and stuff, gave his wife. Let me word it this way: the interview I had this afternoon that we were
Yes.
supposed to not interview, but we were
Skype
supposed to
or
do some
whatever.
Skype stuff. He said he had to call it off because he was on the way to hospital. He says at 8:54 this morning, his little boy Nathan Christopher was born.
Oh, congratulations!
Just
right.
because we were on that is why I brought that up.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
That is cool.
Can you put a picture of Sydney on your video? that you're-
Absolutely.
She is just unbelievable.
We have to get DJ Scotty to do that, and
Okay.
I had purchased
Yes,
this
I'm-
camera and brought it into the studio because I thought it could scroll around, and as you were speaking, it would look at you.
Yeah.
But it's a 2012 model because it's taken him 3 years to figure out how to use it.
And I actually was
Yeah.
actually trying to install a new Adobe Flash player because
it's-
I was
yeah.
pulling up a live feed of Paris Now. I was going to shoot up there and
Yeah.
I couldn't get
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
of my Manicam. It says it can't download new program while I'm running the video that I'm running.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cameras,
He's a topic kind of guy.
December
Type in the name that he's looking for.
first week in
Here, Let me
December
move it this way.
It's
well, you can
Sydney
see it.
Wright.
You got a
Sydney Wright.
screen. Here, you type it then.
was
She's got a computer in her way.
Sorry, it was two years ago, I guess. I have these billionaire friends that are into all kind of stuff that actually came to Covington to visit me for a week. And of course, I had to hire bodyguards and drivers for them.
Dang, man.
And it's kind of funny, you know. I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if there was somebody in Covington, a dignitary that I could introduce them to, and possibly one of them might be interested in building a plan or investing some money. And I'm thinking, God, who are these guys going to talk to?
Military Mike.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
really, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, sir. I ran a security detail out of Kabul, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Where we picked up dignitaries and high value targets from the airport,
Right.
and had to bring them throughout Kabul and surrounding areas. Basically, it was ISAF and NATO type folks, and there's nothing worse than when 6 generals from Germany show up. And when they get in your vehicles, you go, okay, gentlemen, where do we need to go? And they look at you and go, I don't know.
All right.
What are we supposed to do here? You're like, great. Yeah. So absolutely. I can imagine.
Well, it was kind of a bad situation from the get-go because they were all flying into Covington Airport in their own jets.
Oh, my God.
So on Thursday, I called to the city manager and I said, how can I get the names of some police officers that I might could hire,
Right.
to come in and work with us? And he said, what do you got going on, Sam? And I said, well, I got some people coming in and they're, pretty high profile. And I said, they're going to be flying into the Covington Airport. And he said, I don't think so. And I said, what?
Here we go.
And he said, well, it was supposed to have been completed in November, our expansion, but it's not completed.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but these guys have already filed flight plans. Does the FAA did y'all not notify the FAA?
Yeah, there would be a NOTAM on that.
Yeah.
So.
And I said, and that was just the way it went down. How can I introduce these guys to any of the politicos in Covington and Newton County when they don't even know what they're supposed to do about notifying the FAA? So I have to call all these guys, and they had to flight plan everything for Monday morning.
I think when you're dealing with these local governments, that there's a lot of, as DJ Scotty was talking about before, like a hidden agenda type thing going on. And whether they're using this for a stepping stone, nothing irritates me more. And when you go to call or you show up and you need to speak with somebody in a supervisor or an authority position, and you're being screened by the receptionist.
Right.
Or the receptionist says, well, he doesn't like to discuss those topics. And I'm kind of a big guy. And quite frankly, that's the wrong answer when I'm doing something. And I can get in a lot of doors,
Right.
And knowing a lot of folks, I mean, the gentleman I was speaking to yesterday, he's more than likely going to get his star, so I'm not name dropping, but I just think that's what's happened a lot. That's what's destroyed, these people over here that maintain those offices, and we're kind of getting off into the world of Mike, but these people are elected officials.
Yeah.
That means we put them there. That means they're there for me.
They're working for us.
I am the customer, and the customer is always at least the customer.
Hey, and listen, I've had arguments. Now I'm trying to be polite when I say this. When I call somebody such as a customer service and they're trying to bump their gums and not listen to me, I have to go, could you shut up? I'm the customer. I get to voice my personal opinion, and you don't get one. You don't tell me I should have paid my bill on time because A, you just crossed the line. B, you're supposed to be a mindless droid. You're just supposed to be over there to take care of what you're supposed to be doing as part of your job, and you're not supposed to talk.
Are you talking about me?
I'm talking about when I call places. But I've also not that I want to blast Commissioner Odin, but here we go. I was sitting up at the commissioners meeting, and I got up, and they only give you like 60 seconds.
It's crazy.
First of all, I have my damn rights. I get as much time as I want. So I squeezed in as much as I could in 60 seconds. But then I sat down, and another commissioner, Oz, starts speaking, and he points to me and addresses me in a conversation. So I'm on the end of the seat of the row. I lean out of the aisle, and I go to address what he's talking about. And Odom points at me and tries to tell me to hush, and I keep talking, and he goes to point at me again to tell me to hush, And I said, he's addressing me and I will have my conversation. And I'm not trying to be a dick to him. And yes, I just said that word. But at the very end of this, he addresses me up there at the very end, and everything's over with, and everybody said, "Uh-oh, they're calling you to the principal's office." And I go up there, and he says, "You do know that everything that you just addressed was a waste of your time." And I went, "What?" He said, "You just tried to discuss with us about speeding on your roads. You've addressed the fact that things aren't being handled, blah, 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 blah. But you know, that's out of our hands." And I looked at him and I smiled. And what he doesn't know is I'm a little bit of a smart aleck.
No way.
Just a little bit.
So as he's addressing me eye to eye, and he's telling me thanks for speaking my opinion, that the sheriff didn't need to be, put on blast about the speeding.
Right.
He's telling me I did good, but he's telling me I wasted my time. And I basically just looked and I went, and I just pointed up, and he didn't know what I was pointing at, and he turns and looks up, and he saw the camera. I said, "It's now on public record that I just begged you and all the people on this table, I begged for your assistance as my commissioners to help me with my problem.
Right.
You're my elected official, and I begged each and every one of you. I said the words, and it's recorded. It's now on record." And he's like, "Oh, come on, man.
Cool.
I have an agenda, just like anybody else has an agenda, but it's a power play. I knew what I needed to do. I needed to go on record requesting for this. I needed it to be on video. And since that video got shared on their public little network, I've had several people from the police department address me. I mean, I've had people walk up to me in a Mexican restaurant and say, "Hey, Scotty, I just want to tell you, thank you for standing up for us as citizens, because we should be able to walk down the sidewalk and not have to worry about getting hit by a 65-mile-an-hour speeder."
And
Well,
So I'm just saying,
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I'm not trying to blast nobody. I'm just saying I used
Yes.
my voice to do what needed to be done for the public.
A lot of people are in a position that they cannot go overboard. They cannot speak up. I had an accountant in Covington stop me on the street, and he said, "Sam, I just want to tell you, we really do appreciate all the stuff that you do." But he said, "I can't do it." He said, "Half the people that you talk about are my customers."
Yeah.
You understand
Absolutely.
that?
That's
And
right.
I told him, I said, "Well, I do understand that. And I know people are, they are working every day. They're driving that line and back. They're trying to make a living. They're trying to raise a family, and they just don't have the time or the means to be able to do some of the stuff. And I don't mind. I'm glad to be able to do it."
Well, I believe in, me and Mike were having this kind of off-air discussion earlier. I believe in the underdog. I
Sure.
believe in
I do
speaking
too.
up for the people that can't speak up for
Oh,
themselves.
yes.
I don't like seeing people get bullied. If
No.
I see somebody getting bullied, I will jump in front of it and take the bullet.
Right.
I will put myself in more situations that I don't need to be in. And I looked at Mike this morning off air and I said, "Listen, I want to do this." I sent them a message last night about, he's pointing,
Easy.
about a something I found. Somebody came to us, and I have to look at us just like the news, just like reporters. We have an anonymous source who came
Right.
to us with an issue. Am I censoring that enough for you, sir? An
yeah.
issue. And I said to him, I said, "I want to investigate this, but the problem is I'm very passionate. I don't like bullies. I don't like seeing people get pushed around.
Yeah.
And I will let my passion, I will let my passion overload my mouth." I
Yes.
said, "And I'm going to need you to jerk me back if I start to say something I don't need to say."
Until we have something concrete. I mean, right now,
And I agree. I agree.
right now we got a little surface stuff, and it's
But I'm just
very-
that guy.
Yeah, well, it's an irritating story. So
Right. When I found out the homeless, I had a conversation with a lady yesterday. Aggravates the living hell out of me. We took care of the homeless last year, and we're feeding a bunch of people, and everybody with a position, let's just use that word, everybody with a job and a position.
Yeah.
Well, if you would send him to this relief place, and if you would send him here, we would feed him. The problem is y'all require an address. Oh, wait, they're homeless.
Yeah.
You
And-
require a driver's license and a social security number. They're homeless. They don't have any of that. If they had any of that, they'd probably have a job.
And Sam,
And that got said to me yesterday.
We're supposed to be talking about inventions. And
Oh,
stuff
that's-
like
Yeah,
that.
we're going to that too.
Let me
We're
explain
going to
something
shoot to a
you.
commercial and then do that.
I was a complete butt to this woman, and
Yeah.
he chewed me out about it.
Well, because I've learned I have to play nice in the sandbox. I
well,
have
that's
to.
true.
I was kicking sand all over.
He was kicking sand all up
I
on
found
the sandwich.
some cat turd and I was kicking
Okay.
it over there too.
Well,
But yes.
ladies and gentlemen, I just like to say this is a teaser or a promo for
Future.
Military Mike's new show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You
if
have
you
no
want-
idea.
Yeah, if you want to get all the gory details, you'll just have to tune in.
That's right.
That's it. I like
Because
that.
I'm gonna turn you two loose,
Yeah.
and I'm
Well,
probably, Mike's probably gonna be like, "Look, I need you to not be here that day,"
Oh yeah.
because
Well, I
he's
thought
like,
that was already
he's like,
understood.
because you're gonna try to mute me.
Yeah, I thought that was already understood.
Remember, I have Team Viewer though.
Well, I don't care if you've got teenage.
No, I
girls
mean I can
upstairs.
unmute. I can disconnect the mic.
Oh, you know what?
We'll like fade the song
I'm
really
thinking
fast.
the word's still gonna get out.
I know.
Yeah,
All right, hey, let's shoot off the commercial, and then when we come back, this dude is like,
I know.
it's like an encyclopedia, man. He knows so much. So when we get back, let's talk to him about some of these really cool inventions.
Steph has to pee, so she just knocked.
You
the
just
camera
walk
out of the
away.
way.
Oh God, leave it to redneck Steph. All right, everybody, we're gonna do a commercial. We'll be right back.
See ya.
Was that fun?
Oh God, yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
That's good. That's good.
Wave at the camera. Oh yeah, and it wasn't Bamberg, Germany. I'm sorry. It was Heidelberg.
Heidelberg.
Heidelberg. Yeah. I was a helicopter pilot, and so I flew all around over there. But I was at Edelstadt. My daughter was born in Berkeley,
Where are you from originally?
Connecticut.
Yeah. Are you Southernized at this point?
Well, no, because I'm all over wise.
Yeah.
My mother brought us down here after the divorce, 1970. I did all my regular school here, elementary.
How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 50.
Okay.
So I did Stone Mountain Elementary, Stone Mountain. And I went to Clarkston for a little bit. Right out of the military. My mother was shot killed. So I kind of did what I could for 2 years, literally living in the house, forging, school stuff. So
Hey, when
Did
we
you
do
know-
get back, I do want to bring up the fact that she was the girl that's on the airplane you was talking about.
Did you know Kenny Flynn?
Flynn,
Yeah, played with a band.
what's the name? Flynn
Baccarat. I think the name of the band was Baccarat.
I grew up in the Stone Mountain area.
Yeah.
68 Chevelle,
Wow.
doing the quarter mile over by JJ's barbecue on 78, the minute I could get out of here, I did. I went to the military. And unfortunately, when I was in the military, I thought everybody jumped out of the plane. I thought everybody was out of the helicopter. I thought you could just say, hey, I want to fly a helicopter, and they teach you how to do it. Well, it wasn't like that.
Right.
So I'm as a nothing, I made such a big deal about me getting trained because they would stand in front of you and they'd go, who's responsible for your training? You are. And I'd raise my hand or I'd just blurt out, then why the hell can't I go to jump school? 19 military schools. I was promoted 9. I was promoted 8 times in 9.5 years. Ended up going to flight school and then tried out for the astronaut program. Tried out for the diplomatic security corps, the state secretary.
We have a Native American astronaut. Did you know that? Yeah, we do. I'll bring you some stuff in next time.
Been all over the world, been just about everywhere. No, I don't like cold. The farthest north I guess I've been is I've been on the mountains in Pakistan, Afghanistan, but Canada, but no Antarctica or Arctica, nothing like that. But pretty much have my feet everywhere else.
Yeah.
I have looked at mountains in Russia. I got pictures of standing, looking, going, these are beautiful. I've looked at the mountains that Hannibal crossed.
Where were you?
In Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
And then I've been as far north in that area as it's called Manas, but it's actually Bishklovak, I believe I'm saying right. And literally flew in there to get somebody.
literally flew out, and on the way out, I was looking out the window, C-17 that's climbing like this, seeing Trace around. So, but, cobble was brutal.
I'm sure it was.
So hard there. Hyper packs, silk road
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I hated it, but it was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, they say that, it's going to be a hot spot. You know that.
You know what we did?
That's what I was going to
We're spending
stay alive.
we're spending $1 billion every 12 days. And
Well,
you know what we're doing?
Nothing.
We're staying on. We're
Right.
supporting. We're supporting us and giving these people that literally I have physically seen gorilla boxes full of $100 bills that were sealed, vacuum sealed, and we just turned it up.
Yeah,
Just
right.
gave it. No
Right.
accountability. I've actually paid Taliban, knowing they're Taliban.
Yeah.
Took my helmet off, put it on the kids' helmet, just to piss them off. I am the monkey in the ring,
All right, let's go back live real quick.
I don't want this.
All right, everybody. We's back.
We're back. I feel better now,
I was told Dunkashun because I had to make a
Who?
correction there.
Dr. Shane.
It
Dr. Shane, who is he?
Dunkashun.
And I was told because we don't want to give out real people's names for
Yeah.
some of our text messages. We try to protect
Yeah.
the identity of some people. But I was told, tell Sam the well digger said hello.
Oh.
That got a look.
Now he knows who it is.
Well, we've got to review back through some of the stories that didn't get finished, but I'll take on the well driller woman right
Okay.
now.
Oh, it's a woman.
It's a
Yeah.
woman.
See?
Oh,
There-
this
The
might
secret identities are being leaked as we speak.
Yeah, there's a
dirty.
lady that I believe was famous in the area, and she was she could probably whoop all three of us guys. I'm serious.
Steph, did he
man.
know you before too?
I'm about to say, that ain't saying much, right?
And,
We're all handicapped.
although she could, really take care of herself, and she was a gentle giant. I'd like to say that. But I had talked to one of her children not too long ago, and I said, we don't have a lot of real celebrities in Covington, and there are things.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
Yeah, there are
Okay.
things around the country that I have kind of sort of gotten. I don't know how to say this. I don't want to embellish anything that is doesn't deserve it. But let's just take Paul Bunyan. Up in the Pacific Northwest, people drive for miles, hundreds of miles, just to see that thing.
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And of course now I think 3 or 4 other cities have got their own Paul Bunyan, but I'm thinking, okay, we've got the well driller woman, so why don't we get somebody to do a bronze, slightly oversized, maybe like the Paul Bunyan,
And Babe.
yeah, of the well driller woman, and put it somewhere in, a place of prominence in Covington, and maybe we'd have people driving for hundreds of miles to see the bronze of the well driller woman,
Right.
and have a plaque with the story and all of the things that she did. But imagine now a lady like yourself,
But taller.
Scotty, he's
Lord-
talking to you.
yeah, being lowered down into a well with a shovel and
Wow.
all of the ancillaries that would be required to clean out a well.
And don't you complain ever again if we have you do something, because this
Yeah.
woman right here did anything and everything, and you complain.
Yeah.
Y'all, it tased me.
Well, that's why the plungers.
That's
out in
the
backyard,
difference of
too.
then and now.
Yeah, come on, we got to be with the times.
So they would lower her down there and she would just do the work of a man.
That's exactly right. And she was famous.
You
And,
remember that.
Wow.
and everybody knew, everybody loved her. And if you had a problem, you knew, you didn't call Ghostbusters to dig out your well. You called a well digger. Why don't you come in? Boom!
You had a
Water!
If you had a problem, you called her and
Yeah.
gave her a couple bucks, and she'd take care of your problems.
Yes, marvelous person.
So now,
Marvelous.
and this person said that's her mother.
Yeah, her mother.
So I'm saying, really?
Yeah.
So I'm asking right now. That means she's listening.
Yeah.
And that means that that she'll be about 30 seconds behind us when I say this. If your mom was such a hard worker, how did you turn out like that?
Ooh.
Hold on.
Well,
Blow.
No.
No, that's just a joke. She knows I love her.
I'll
No.
tell you about her daughter,
I'm
who,
going
who,
home.
who is online right now. She was probably, she had those genetics to some degree, and she was a great softball player. Her daughter, great softball player. So, we just got to work on this statue and get it going. And speaking of statues, we go again. Do you remember traveling on Peachtree Street in the vicinity of 14th Street, where Ing's restaurant used to be, where now there's a Federal Reserve building?
yes.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I remember there used to
10th
be a
and 14th.
split with some statue, right?
All right. Well, let me tell you, there was a guy that stood there, not 24/7, but he was there almost all the time, and he had frizzy blonde hair that just went every way, and he sold these little magazines. And initially, I think he gave away magazines and there was one called The Great Speckled Bird in Atlanta.
I don't know about that one.
It was notorious.
Well, I kind of, and there was something else. I think at Georgia Peach or
Well,
Peach.
this one was the first underground newspaper
Yeah.
in the country.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
it
okay,
was.
Cool.
And this guy would stand there and hand these things out. And over all of the years that I can recollect from the 60s until the present time, I saw him walking down the street at Little Five Points. I could not believe the guy was even still alive.
Wow.
His complexion was already from, being in the
All the-
weather and
yeah, I
the
was gonna
sun
say, the
all the
sun.
time. So I called my friend who used to own one of the publications in Atlanta, and I said, we need to do something about this guy. Why don't we get a bronze statue of this guy that stood there every day for 40 years and put it on that corner? The only problem is that corner right now is the Federal Reserve.
Oh, gosh.
So we don't really know how that might go over.
That's right. That's right.
But
Now, Crystal, my wife said that you had been part of the newspaper. Is you something about your parents had owned a newspaper?
yeah, my parents owned the paper in Covington, owned the paper in Conyers and the old Lithonia Observer.
Wow.
So I actually grew up in the news business, and when I was a little kid, I'd go to sleep in the waste bins with all the paper and
Wow, that's kind of cool.
and I learned how to operate all the equipment probably by the time I was 13 or 14 years old. But
Good Lord. And that's when it was real work. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
computerized and unautomated, so to speak.
oh, it was tough.
This was all real manual labor.
The
That
Good
was
Lord.
What was that thing? Was it called the press
the what?
that it was printed on?
It was a printing press.
It was yeah.
I'm
That's
sorry,
what
Steph. I just had
It
to
was
ask.
a letter press back
Yeah.
then, and it was this big gargantuan piece of equipment that lived on top of this big hole because you had to get underneath it to put the big type things in that were full of lead, and they weighed a double truck, what we call a double truck, would weigh probably almost 400 pounds.
Good Lord.
And you had to learn how to wrestle that thing in yourself. But the rolls of paper on those big old presses were probably 8 feet long,
Mhm.
and they weighed about 2,000 pounds.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And as a kid, you learn how to manhandle that stuff. But the worst thing of all that could happen would be if somebody was not attentive and they were rolling that paper up onto the roll stand. It got away from it and it fell in that hole underneath the press.
Oh, God.
You're really in trouble.
Man, see, I watched the show. Golly, I can't believe I just forgot. It's about the trains. Hell
Hell on wheels.
Hell on Wheels. And I find, even though the show was about the railroad and how the creation of the railroad went west, I find myself, I guess because of the business I'm in now, I find myself really staring more at the lady that's involved with trying to do the newspaper there, because you're having to watch them take stamps. It's each letter. And I'm talking metal stamps too, not rubber stamps. I don't want anybody to think, we're talking
Right.
way before rubber.
Sure.
Same thing in Deadwood.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're watching them have to spell every single word out and then print it. And like, you see this woman who's like 99 pounds having to get on this 3-foot lever that's all spring mechanisms, and each piece of paper, that's her printing it. And
Yeah.
then they would pull that piece of paper out, they would roll ink over it, and she'd have to put all her weight on it. And you think that's where it began. I'm sure that's
Right.
not the beginning, but at this point,
Close.
I'm like, wow, this is wild.
Well, in my time, I have come from Gutenberg to high-speed web offset press.
Good
And
Lord.
the last plant that I managed for Cox, our machine was as long as a city block, and it would run 100,000 papers per hour. And it took 73, this will tell you what it was, 73 Cajuns to take all those papers off fast enough to keep them from getting all piled up. on the
Holy
machine.
cow. You just don't think about it. And that's one thing I tried to say when I wanted to start interviewing people. I said, you know what? I want to interview people that have done extraordinary things that you don't consider.
Yeah.
For instance, I joke all the time and say, I want to interview a Porta-John cleaner. And people go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever visualize the life
Yeah.
of that dude.
Well,
Like when he wakes up, he goes for his coffee and he's like, man, I'm just not in the mood for his crap today. You know, literally, what do they have to look
Sam.
forward to?
Don't laugh at him. You're just
That
gonna
was a
encourage
good
him.
joke, dude.
You're
Yeah.
just gonna encourage him.
Well, I'm going to go back to the camera.
Yeah.
We've talked about 2 bronze statues that we really need to do something about. Creative Loafing is a publication that the lady owned that I had spoken with about this, and I spoke to 2 or 3 other dignitaries in Atlanta about the possibility. I printed, I hate to say this, I honestly hate to say this, but in my time, I will say I had been around a number of strange publications. The Great Speckled Bird, when we got through printing it every morning, once a week at 3 a.m., we took the printing plates and we shredded them. We took all the scrap paper from the start.
Because you didn't want to be caught, right? So this is like pirate radio, but in the newspaper.
Yeah. We took all the scrap to that old DeKalb County incinerator out there. With
Oh,
the big tall,
tall, yeah.
And we personally threw it
Yeah,
in the
man.
fire. you
Oh
know?
gosh, I can't tell
Wow.
you how many people I threw in that incinerator.
Is that
Can we
right?
talk
Oh,
later about
whatever.
that?
Yeah.
Was that out loud?
Yeah.
So on the camera, you were talking about the camera that you got in 2012. I guess that's what one of the devices I'm looking at.
Yeah, it looks like R2D2's butt.
Yeah, well, the reason I got into that was because the gentleman that came to see me, December was a year ago. One of them had just returned from a meeting in Dallas, and he had a check in his pocket for $50 million.
Oh my god.
Isaac, I'll mention Isaac's name because he's moved out of the country because of the tax situation. Isaac, when BlackBerry decided that they were going to upgrade their equipment, they found out that Isaac already had all the patents on everything they wanted to do. So they paid Isaac $150 million just for the rights
Good Lord, why couldn't I be that guy?
to,
Never in the right
to
place
use
at the
it,
right time.
plus royalties. That's why he moved to Costa Rica.
Yeah, because he can.
Yeah.
I ain't got
But-
$1.50.
But the gentleman whose name I won't mention that I started talking about initially brought a new piece of equipment in that he was working on, and it's a 360-degree video camera. Think about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you know, he sits it on the table, so all our meetings were recorded. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, well, we put this on the big screen, it's going to be like LSD. I mean, what, you know, really, what could it be like? But it was so fascinating, and he's working on. I don't know what the government wants to do with something like that, but he's working on the Pentagon on that program right now.
Yeah.
So
It would be, think about if it was on like a vehicle, you know, like in what I was doing in Kabul,
yeah,
you could have a 360-degree.
you can see what was happening all the way around you.
Yeah. I had seen some of those remote control guns and said the setups. I
Yes.
never got to ride in one or have one or anything else
Yeah.
like that. It sounds like a great idea, but you really do need that, you know, somebody who can just snap their head around and look at something and junk like that. So yeah, but panoramic
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
That may be a good idea. Because this little guy right here, he wants to work
Mhm.
He does. He shows up every day. He's always
Yeah.
early.
Who are we
He'll stay
pointing
late.
at?
R2D2's butt.
Okay.
But
Thought you pointed to the panda for a second.
You
I was a
know-
little confused.
yeah, the Panda doesn't work. He's retired. But the camera wants to work and is very high tech.
Mhm.
But with every slave there must be a master.
That's right.
And in this case, there is two Sith lords.
Well, my IT guy plans on being here, but the birth of his baby kind of took
Yeah,
over. But
yeah.
next week, he actually planned on physically being here to do a few things that need to be done.
Yeah, and we've been working on a promotional video too.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Order up.
All right, yeah.
So let's get into these inventions you've done.
No Pepsi, Coke.
Well, I think probably I don't even know how far I can go back. I have a pretty good memory, but having to do with your technology somewhat, I would say probably the first thing that I ever built of any consequence was a radio transmitter.
Cool.
Cool. We might get in trouble by the FCC if he stays around because I want one.
Yeah, man.
I've
real
already
big
been
into-
deciding if I'm going to get a ham radio and just start doing it, and they're going to be like the movie Pump Up the Volume. I'm going to put it in the bus and just drive. They're going to have to catch me.
I'm real big into solar projects and wind projects, and I've actually designed out a polyhedral glider that has solar panels in the wings.
Yeah.
That will, and obviously it's got to be stored.
Stephanie, a glider or something that's like an airplane.
I know
and
what
it's
a
got
glider is.
I mean, I'll show it to you. I'll
It
draw
just
it out
doesn't
for
have
you
a
again.
motor.
But it's got a pod on the top of the fuselage with a electric motor where the actual prop themselves fold back and when they're not being in use. So theoretically, you could stay up as long as you wanted to,
as long as the sun was shining.
No,
of course.
well, because you still get energy even in a cloudy day. So, yep. And
I mean,
could,
at night would be a problem.
no, you could store enough energy during the day.
Oh,
And
my
there's
goodness.
thermals at night, so the
Yeah,
glider
that's
could
true.
actually do what a glider does.
That's true.
So theoretically, the plane could never have to land.
Cool.
Well, this transmitter that I built was I had a large Lionel electric train set.
Hell yeah!
And the
HO.
transformer was about this big.
Mhm.
And I used that for my power source.
Awesome.
It was converting 120 volt
AC to DC.
60 to DC, right?
Yeah, step down.
Yeah. And I used, strangely enough, the train track.
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you seen Lionel train track?
Absolutely.
I've actually got one. I
Yeah.
got my dad's that
HO.
he got when he was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I use the transformer too, real quick, is it's a potentiometer.
That's right.
You can control how.
See,
much
y'all's show
the
is going to be
output.
amazing.
Yeah. So the track was my antenna.
Sure.
And you could pick it up. I get all the kids up and down the street. As a matter of fact, last week I made a list of the kids on the street, the kids in the neighborhood, and I could not even believe it. There must have been 100 kids right there.
Mhm.
But I could call down the street to Jimmy Johnson's house and I'd say,
Yeah.
put your radio way over there on that end and see if you don't pick up something that sounds like me.
Yeah.
And so I could tell how far it was going. And I didn't really have anything to hold the track up, but after some period of time, I just went out on the side porch and laid it up against the screen wire. And the porch is huge. I mean,
Right.
as big as this room. Well, all of a sudden it's going out probably 50 miles,
Right.
No,
Right.
because
The screen is this huge transmitter.
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, it's a antenna,
Yeah.
and it's so
Antenna,
and-
right.
Yeah, any of the metal that continue to touch itself, you basically made an array.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
And I got really frightened because I could, I was having
They
trouble going to sleep at night because I knew they were looking for me.
You know,
Oh
they
yeah,
do-
because now
They do that. By the
well,
way.
I was going to say my
Yeah.
broadcaster allows me
Yeah.
to not only shoot internet, I could actually
Do FM.
I can actually do FM,
Yeah.
and the FCC will allow you to only do, and now my numbers might be off, but I could broadcast like 2.8 miles legally,
About-
maybe up to 20 legally.
Yeah, I think what they do
I
is they
can't
go off
remember
of
now.
wattage. Is I think personal you can do up to like 50,000 watts, which would be about maybe 10, 12 miles.
But I was thinking about going
Wow.
live and broadcast.
well, see, real estate agents use it now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can drive up to a house now, And if it's a live broadcast house, it'll be on a loop,
Well-
and it'll tell you what FM frequency to
I
tune to.
have that thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have one in my van, by the way.
Yeah.
And that is legal, but not legal. In other words, the one I bought was the small one that is
Right.
legal. They do sell some across
yeah.
the net
Yeah.
that come unput together,
Yeah.
unassembled, and you have to assemble them. But the thing is they sell these things so that you can use them in churches and
Mhm.
warehouses and big businesses and stuff like that. And I have one in my
About
car
that.
that is shoot up to like 2 miles, but
Right.
that's the legal one.
Right.
Yeah.
But technically, we're not supposed to use it that way. We're supposed to use them indoors, and use them indoors only for warehouses, churches, and hospitals.
Right.
So, I mean, what they're doing works, but it's just we're not
Yeah.
supposed to
Well,
do
they do
that
it,
by FCC regulation.
at the
The drive-in
Christmas
theaters and stuff.
Yeah,
do
the
them.
Christmas light show up at Lake Lanier and tell
Yep.
you to tune to. And what they've done is they've bought what you built.
Yes.
Yeah.
They bought
Well,
a broadcast.
Speaking of a broadcast, this takes us back into the music business. I guess I was probably 9 or 10 years old, and I had been to Nashville every year. Now, I guess that's how I was born, because Mom's sister lived up there, and they lived on Brush Hill Road. I don't know how many people have ever been to the new
Yeah.
Opryland, but if you look,
I have been to the new opera.
all right, if you look across the river, there's a 300-foot bluff on the other side. Do you remember that?
No.
No. All
It's
right. At the top of that
Yeah.
bluff down the Cumberland River is Brush Hill Road, and it was the residence of choice in Nashville in the 40s and 50s.
okay.
And most all the show business people lived there.
yeah.
And Aunt Lynn and Uncle Jack's place was initially a log cabin, and they had expanded on it. And all the show business people were like in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, Roy Acuff and little Jimmy Dean. and Judge Hooker had a Tennessee walking horse farm right down the street. He was married to Minnie Pearl, and in his barn sometimes on Saturday nights, 3 or 4 houses down, we walked down there, and here's all these guys with their guitars, and they're singing all these old songs. And when I was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, that would have been 1950 or something.
Don't lie.
So they were singing songs that were written in the teens, in the 20s. So
That'd be wild.
I had been to Dimsdale's Ma and Pa Opry out on Highway 81 just outside of Porterdale. I probably shouldn't say anything about that because they can't even seat the people that come in there now. And
Mhm.
even to say that it's free would make it even worse.
There you go.
But-
Build them up.
But I had been
It's
out-
what we do.
Yeah, I had been out there a couple of times, and I got to thinking about some of these old songs, and can I remember some of those songs because you never hear them, and so a couple of them I had thought of, and I asked people, have you ever heard this song? And they would say no, and so I told Rita, Donald's sister, she performs with the band, that I was really going to search and try to find some of this stuff and see if they could pull some out. Some of it is so great. One of them in particular is called The Dungeon or something like that. And my cousin, who was a Broadway actor, he always makes it a habit to sing that song when we're together because it's got like 100 verses. And he'll finish one, it's dark and it's so dingy way down in the mine. And it'll be like, well, that's the last verse. And he'll wait about 10 or 15 seconds and then he'll say, well, the rain never falls, and he starts into this next verse.
Wow.
Anyway, it's just, some of that stuff it's forgotten.
Right.
It's gone.
Yeah, I listen to music obviously from my era a little bit more, and Led Zeppelin, Rolling
Yeah.
Stones, that kind of
Really? Because I picture you like the wheels on the bus go round and round. I'm sorry, I just picture you as that guy.
So no, I mean that was kind of my genre. The Beatles, the Who.
Shaking enough, boss.
Yeah. So that was that was crazy cool music for me, and I will play it in the car when I'm with my boys. And my oldest son is 18, and my youngest son is about to be 12 this Friday, and my daughter's 25. But and I sing the songs, you know.
Yeah. I can't sing,
And-
and obviously I can't.
And they just look at me and they go, "Dad, when's the last time you heard that song?" And I'll go, 1978. And they'll go,
A few seconds ago, it played in my head.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a ringing noise. That's music only I can hear. And they'll go, "How do you remember that song when you can't remember how to get home?" You know, it's stuff like,
I remember the stuff from the past better than I can remember yesterday.
yeah. And you know, they say that's,
I know.
Yeah, Alzheimer.
I can
But,
tell you anything that happened in like 1986, but I can't tell you who I was on the phone with yesterday.
Yeah. But no, remembering the songs is because there was an association.
Yeah.
You know, little ditty about Jack and Diane. You know, I love John
Right.
Cougar. You know, and
Right.
and I can tell you the first time I heard it, and I can tell you who was with me, and
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And you
Now-
just said that, and I remember, as stupid as this sounds, I remember being in the 4th grade
Uh-huh.
playing Army behind the apartment complex we lived at.
Uh-huh.
And they had put a fence up between our apartment complex and the next one. So there used to be, it was a golf course community. So there was a ramp that you could, a bridge rather, but now it was fenced off. I remember we played War on it, and I remember a boy with a little boom box.
Uh-huh.
When that first time I heard that song, we were sitting on that bridge. Now you just said that, and that's where you just took me, was to the 3rd
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah, but now,
Association.
now name some songs, you know, from whatever that Jack Rod is. There's no
Kanye.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
So I remember this TMZ report.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all
Good
I'm
point.
going to
Yeah,
remember.
perfect.
In the Nashville genre, I got to tell you this. When I was 8, 9, 10 years old, again, I had picked up on, you know, the music scene from being in Nashville and seeing some of these people that I'd heard about. And every night I would take this old white plastic RCA Victor radio about the size of a shoebox, had a big V, a big gold V on the front, and the dial, you know, was right there in the middle of that. And then the volume control was over on the side.
Oh yeah.
And when Mother and Daddy would go to sleep, I would sneak in there, better unplug it, and I'd take it downstairs in the basement.
Oh wow.
This was a serious basement. You know, this wasn't like a,
There was food down there.
yeah, it's not nice like,
Yeah, it
like
was-
your place.
It was,
And-
it was stored for food, and
It had its real purpose.
At 11 o'clock at night,
oh my god.
right? And here I am, a little bitty kid.
Yeah.
And this went on from the time I remember washing my car one night at 11 o'clock one night when I had learned to drive a black 57 Chevrolet, listening to this same guy from the time I was 8 until I was, 17. It was John Ara coming to you live from WLAC in Nashville, Tennessee. Now this guy played, John Richburg was his name. And he played, like the early, black rock stuff. That was his thing. And I can't remember a lot of the songs. One I remember he played a lot, and I didn't really like it that much, was Stagger Lee. Gosh, when did that song come out? Like
I don't even know.
1948?
God, can you imagine?
Back then, hearing stuff for the first time.
I got all that stuff
yeah.
in my head. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's kind of scary too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Absolutely.
stuff to. That's a lot of stuff to keep holding on to. Hey, DJ Scotty, it's about.
I was going to say
10:15.
we're at the 10:17 mark.
Yep. So we're
So we're going to have to wrap this puppy up.
we're gonna have to wrap this puppy up.
Hey, but before we go any further, you made a radio. Is there anything else you've made really crazy?
Oh yeah, I made all kind of crazy stuff. Probably my earliest innovation was I was building a soapbox derby car. That was a big thing.
That
Back
was,
then, yeah.
In the
Absolutely.
50s. And then they had the big finale at Akron.
That was like the Daytona 500.
Sure.
Was Akron.
Absolutely.
I have an idea on a John boat. Y'all ready for this? Now you might think I'm crazy.
Okay.
Well, I do.
This pond here, you can't
Yeah.
have a gas motor.
right.
The reservoir in Newton County, you can't have a motor.
Yeah.
So I was there fishing one time with my dad at the reservoir, and I saw these guys come in for a bass catching tournament, a fishing tournament. And I saw all these guys with John boats coming out that would have like 4 trolling motors on the back.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
said, what the hell do you have so many? Well, part of the tournament is a speed thing. You got to hurry up, get there and fish, hurry up and get. So I'm
Yeah.
like, so you have all these handles, and then they would duct tape one paddle to it so they can control it.
Right.
So I came up with an idea for an electric motor for a boat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you
Yeah,
no
that's-
more till after the show, and then I'll
Yeah,
tell you guys.
That's
All right.
never been done before.
No, not the one I'm gonna tell you. I'm telling you, I've got this brilliant idea. It'll be awesome. We just got to do it.
Oh, so
We can do it on my lake. We can build it, and put it on my lake.
That'll be
Suddenly, my
fun.
head hurts.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you. But go on with your inventions.
All right.
I just want to throw that out there. I got this cool
the
idea.
soapbox derby car. Of course, I didn't know there would ever be such a person as Roger Penske. Had I known that, that would have been my dream. And it was my dream. But what I did was, I just sit back and I look at stuff and I say, that's not right. And so I'm building my soapbox derby car, and you've got this special kit that's got all of the same parts that everybody else has got. So
Right.
there's not really a lot you can do
Yeah.
innovation wise. And what I decided was it was stupid to have the axle underneath the frame. So I built the first soapbox derby car with an axle on top of the frame to get the car closer to the ground to
Low
reduce
riders.
drag.
See?
that, man.
I was 12 maybe.
Right.
And of course it was summertime. I remember that. And I got sick, and I didn't know what's wrong. Dad took me to old Dr. Sam's to his house. And so he says, you've got the mumps and you'll have to stay in for two weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I did find somebody to sell my car to, but I didn't follow up on it. It was yellow. I remember that. Dr. Sam's, one thing. Every time you would leave Dr. Sam's, he was the old family physician, he would say, Sammy, did you know that a monkey can live a whole day on one banana? I have no idea what that meant.
I used to tell people all the time, I don't care how dumb you are, I can teach a monkey to fly. And they used to go, what does that have to do with anything? And I said, I just need to know how many bananas to bring.
Yeah, that's funny. I've heard one that a one hump camel can go 2 weeks without water, but one man can't go 2 weeks without one hump.
That's good.
Sorry.
Making notes.
Yeah, make notes. I would.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
make notes. not
Steph
to
has
come
one of them mammal humps things over at her house.
back. Dang.
Why you gotta talk about Travis?
Well, let's start wrapping this puppy up. We're at 10:21. What else we got? What do we got
Well,
tomorrow besides you not being here?
Yeah, I'm not going to be here, but one thing we've got, and Stephanie's got the information on that. I'll let her introduce that. But I've got a little coming soon plug, and
At a theater near you?
no. Have you ever heard of Gene Odom,
Not that I can recall.
Ronnie Van Sant's best friend?
Oh,
Bodyguard.
oh, so we're talking back Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner.
Back, we're talking back in the day, Leonard Skinner.
Alabama. Yes, sir.
Cool.
We're gonna be talking with him. I just got to plug it as a coming soon right now because we've got to work out the details.
No, that's fine. Let's work out. the
But
details.
yeah, and then you have an announcement there on the one I.
Are
sent
you pregnant?
No.
Oh,
Okay, she's
Oh.
looking at me like a deer in the headlights during
That's
the
the
day.
redneck thing.
Yeah, the
Hand her a spotlight. Watch her
Brian
light it up.
Freeman- I didn't get to read up on him, so
Oh.
I don't even know who we're talking about.
I guess he's
Okay.
calling in tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yes, he
He's
is.
calling in tomorrow, and he is a writer.
Yeah.
Okay, I
gotta-
did get that much of it.
Well, you should have just handled that yourself.
This. I'm not going to be here.
No, I meant the talking about it part.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I said.
So this is tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow, y'all, we'll talk to you more in the morning then about
No,
that.
I'm not going to talk to you.
Okay.
I'm taking tomorrow off. If
Okay.
the damn intern could
Okay.
take a freaking day off.
Well, the intern didn't take it. He
The
just
intern?
did it.
You said
I burped at the same time. I'm sorry. I was trying to hold back the burp.
Oh my God, he's having trouble talking today.
But tomorrow we will have a guest co-host that will be taking Mike's place while he's out, and that's
I don't want
Andrew
anybody sitting in this
James.
chair.
They have to.
Nobody
Yeah.
sits in this
They
chair.
have to.
I'll sit in it.
Well, if the voice shows up, he says he's going
Uh,
to try to show up too. So he would probably sit there if you're
How
not
many
here.
people do
And
you
Andrew's
have to
gonna be
call
here.
in to
Yes,
replace
Andrew's
me?
going to be here.
You gotta have like what 6 extra people just to.
Well,
fulfill what
to
I do
meet
on this
to meet
show?
your weight class, yes.
I knew you were going there.
Mm.
And calling
And that's
me
not
fat.
a fat joke.
Yeah, calling me fat is like
You're
calling
heavy.
Sam old.
You're just heavy.
Yeah.
I didn't call you fat. I
Yeah.
just called you heavy.
It's
You
like-
just called
It's
yourself
like
fat.
calling Stephanie a redneck. It just yeah,
You just pointed
just
out
said-
an obvious thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
well, you're Captain Obvious.
Oh my God.
Real quick, Kathy wanted me to announce
No.
that Dustin is taking over their gig tonight at Glenda's due to the fact that Tiger is ill and won't be able to do
Oh,
it.
man.
Is he ill or is he sick?
Sick.
Because I've
Oh.
seen him before. He can be
He could
ill.
probably
I'm
be
kidding,
ill.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, Dustin will be playing at 7:30 tonight at Glenda's Bar and Grill.
All right.
Cool.
And that's on the outskirts of Walnut Grove. Here comes
Yes.
Jacob. Let's catch Jacob real
Yeah,
quick. Yes, sir,
No,
Jacob.
Jacob.
Go Jacob. Go Jacob.
I think you have him muted.
That'd be that's
Say that one more time. Well, we
Yeah.
had a buzz going in the background
No,
earlier.
We muted
ahead.
you. Jacob.
Uh-huh.
We muted you.
You guys are talking about Brian Freeman calling in,
Yes, sir.
international best-selling author.
Yes, sir.
Right on. I'm
Talking
looking
about
forward
Brian
to
Friedman here, Steph.
that. Right.
Okay.
She
He's
said,
down in Florida right now doing a little book tour. So,
and yeah, the name of the book for the book tour? Crickets.
holy crap.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
Written by
Man,
Brian Friedman
Yeah,
the name
who
of
else
it. My
didn't do their
son said he asked me
homework?
that.
on Amazon.com.
Season of Fear,
There
Brian
you
Freeman.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. Pretty
There
sure
you
it's like a
Yeah.
crime fiction.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Well, that's very
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
cool.
You ever wrote a book, Sam?
No, I started one time,
Look,
and
I
I kept saying nobody's going to read this crap.
Oh, the hell they wouldn't.
Look,
buddy.
what I've learned, it's kind of like the stuff that you see on the Home Shopping Network. If you build it, they will come. I mean,
Could be.
if you make it, they will buy it.
Yeah,
Home Shopping Network, really?
that's
What
scary.
was that I heard about Skinner? Said something about Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, Gina Odin. We're,
Oh,
we're,
no
we're
doubt.
gonna be we're gonna be doing.
Why do we got to keep bringing up Odin?
Well, you know, and I've been
Yeah,
hesitant about. I'm making sure I'm saying the whole name because I don't want people to. Yeah, I talked to somebody yesterday that's putting in a formal complaint on him.
Yeah. Need to get that locked in, Mike.
On Gene,
No, on Odin.
the other Odin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jack.
And not the Viking god.
No,
All
yeah,
All right.
I made a boo boo.
Good show, dude. I'm going to jump off here.
right, man. See you later.
I'm
All
gonna.
right.
Good luck with
Later.
jumping.
Yeah, I'm gonna tackle you.
Sorry. I had to make that. I had to get the job. Bam, while I can.
Yeah. Well, Sam, I have been completely enthralled. I've been having a really good time with you here today, and definitely would like to invite you back. One,
Definitely.
we didn't get enough to talk about here on the morning show, but as we start to bring out the world according to Mike, I think you would be definitely a very welcomed guest.
Well, and it
And,
would give you another avenue for some of the stuff that you're already doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, absolutely. And I can't wait to argue politics with you.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Well,
I love
I'd like to just take a moment to thank all the people that come on my Facebook page. We're over 1,000 now.
it. Okay.
And I believe that, as a disclaimer, I would just say that I'm opening doors
Yes.
that probably have not been opened before, and it gives people an idea of what maybe they should be concerned about in their everyday lives and in local politics and sometimes national politics. So I want to thank all those people that come on my page.
Well, that's very cool.
And
And-
see, I was the kind of guy that never paid attention to politics until here recently, and I'm really not good at it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm not good at paying attention to politics.
You're not
But-
gonna-
There is I got so much going on, but there's so many things that I've been watching over the last year since I met Commissioner Nesbitt. There's things that I didn't know, and this has nothing to do with him. I'm just saying the time frame of meeting him and starting to pay attention. There's so many behind the scene things that happen that you don't know about, and
Right.
and to be a great example, the HMO, the homeowners association where I used to live, when I didn't understand how politics work. So we had all been grandfathered into whatever the yearly due was when we bought our property.
Trapped.
But what we didn't know is everybody had different payments. Like mine was $175 a year, and then somebody that bought a new house was $350 a year. And the people on the water kept saying, "This is not fair. Everybody should pay the same." So what we didn't know is the people on the water all voted without really notifying all of us. What they did was they posted the average sign that just says homeowners meeting, and then it just said in little words, vote. Didn't say what the vote was about. So the 100 and something houses around the lake voted without everybody on the outside of the neighborhood or outside of the lake knowing, and they all voted that says that we all have to pay the same fee. And I said, Why should the guy living on the water pay what I pay and I don't even get to use the lake? The guy living on the water should be paying a higher anything than I pay. That's when I started realizing how government works. They're doing a lot of behind the doors talk and behind the doors vote to suit whatever their needs are and not the needs of the people, if that makes sense, Mr. Mike.
It does. But here's the thing. These homeowners associations, what a crock.
I agree, but I was using that as my example of how voting and
basic
government stuff happens. People will do stuff behind your back.
Sure they will.
It's really simple. It's like a shoplifter. If you're not watching, it's gonna happen. It's just shoplifting and government. It's the same thing. If you turn your back and you're not paying attention, it's probably gonna happen.
What, you know what that's called? Opportunity.
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 Motive.
Yeah.
Motive.
Opportunity.
So I just got, am I going to vote this year? That means I need to get myself registered. I have another, how about this? Because we're talking government for a second, and I got a couple minutes left. So I made a phone call last year because I needed to help vote on something that was going on. And I say last year, it's probably the year before last. And I waited too long to register to vote. I've never voted. So I was never told when I needed to get registered. So I make a phone call to the voting registration people for the government. They said, if you really want to vote, here's a place. And they said, matter of fact, right next to where you live is a school. You go down there and you tell them you need to this, and this, and this, and this. So I go down there. I try to get registered to vote. A Democrat, that's the only way I can say it, a Democrat and his people, his posse, walk up, and this has nothing to do with color, y'all. I'm making the point that the Democrats did this. The Democrats walked up to me and said, you can't vote. And I said, this person at this phone number told me to come down here and you can register me right now. And they said, no. And they escorted me out of the school. And I had a person with Channel 2 walk from their van to the front door as I was getting escorted to the curb and asked me what the problem is. I showed them exactly what took place. And they said, we're gonna bring this up to the attention of blah, 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 blah.
Good.
And then I came home and made a phone call. And they were like, yes, you were supposed to be at this time. And I had a person from the Republican Party that was sitting in the parking lot ask me what happened. And I found it very rude that I was escorted off the property because I was voting against what these people wanted me to vote for.
Yeah.
So I learned a very valuable lesson.
Tell us what you really think.
I just told you what I really thought.
I will
Hang Hitler. That's what I felt like. I felt like a Nazi had just walked me to the prison door and told me to get in.
Right.
as we get closer to 2016, I will give you on my show, I will give you my take on the Electoral College. And I explain that to people sometimes, and they look at you and they go, are you serious? And it's like, look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up,
Right.
because that's what the biggest crock in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I had a great time when I ran for governor in 2001.
Really?
Yeah. I got in late, and the only reason that I did was to be able to have a platform to discuss Georgia's impending water problems.
Yeah. From,
You know? Well,
yeah.
what was so funny about the whole, and I made so many wonderful friends.
I'm sure.
and
Not.
Yeah, I make friends like that all the time. They like me, love me, or just really hate me.
now here's what's really funny, and this gets brought back up to me at the strangest times and places. I was at the Dillard house, and there was a guy staying right next to us, and he said, "Oh yeah, I know who you are." And I said, "Well, how would you know that?" And he said, "Because everybody knows who you are." And I said, "Relative to what are you talking about?" And he said, "Well, I'm in charge of the budget department for the state of Georgia, so and so. And we know that both Purdue and Barnes wrote a letter to PBS and to the Atlanta Press Club. And they said, if you invite Sam Hay to the TV debate, we ain't coming."
Wow.
God.
Wow. All right, everybody. Look, we're gonna have to boogie. The thing here is this is a taste. A little if
A nugget.
if Mike was your cocaine dealer, he just gave you a fingernail full and he wants you to come back.
Wow.
It's just for fun, y'all. I got to make you laugh. This is just a little taste of what Mike's going to be doing when he breaks off to do one of his I'm not going to call it an evening show. It's going to be more of an afternoon, like 5 to 7 or something like that.
The world.
Maybe
according
6 to
Mike.
8. We have no idea. But
Dinner show.
I don't normally go all political on you. Y'all all know that. We usually keep it lighthearted, but today was just kind of a sample. But with something else being said, another listener had just sent in this and says about Odin wanting a $50,000 car. It says Nesbitt drives a 1998 Affinity with over 200,000 miles on it all over town to conduct business. 2 years ago, Odin blocked Nesbitt from using a county vehicle to conduct official business. Now, that's kind of crazy considering that Odin's asking for a $50,000 car to be bought in his name. Just saying. And like I normally say, we normally don't do politics. We normally don't do religion. We did discuss a little both of them today, but it's just because we want to bring up everyday topics. We want people to know that Just for Fun Radio is a source of learning some more information, not just all fun and games that we normally are. But I do want people to start realizing, you know, like yesterday, the lady says, I didn't even know we had a radio station local. Well, you do now, ain't you heard?
Yeah, we're, you know. Are you, if you're talking about the woman, I think
I'm talking about any woman, sir.
No,
Good Lord.
that woman.
Get off your panda soapbox.
Man, that woman there.
All right, everybody, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're at 10:34. We're going to boogie out of here. Thanks to Mr. Sam Hay for coming
Thank you,
in.
Sam, we appreciate you, brother.
And there's so many things this intelligent man can shed the light on everything,
Well, thank
everything from history to politics.
Thank you.
So,
I enjoyed it.
yes, sir. We
I
want to
enjoyed
make sure we get you back. All right, y'all, we're going to cut out of here. Everybody have a super terrific, fantastic day.
See ya.
We will see y'all on the flip side. I do have the remainder of our commercials to come up real quick because we did overtalk a few times. But everybody have a great day. We will see y'all on the flip side. Thanks to Rob's Performance and all the other great people that help us out. You know, we've got, let me just go down the list. We've got Custom Tint and Sound, Now or Never Tattoo, Dr. Ink Erasers, Visions, Party Bus, the new car wash located on Old Salem Road. Of course, Copy Central, Rob's Performance, Sun City Tan, which right now, girls, go get your little glow started before the spring break happens. You want to go down there looking like a Casper or a Twilight.
Oh, my God.
Everybody, will see y'all on the flip side.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. All right, let me
Are
kick.
we off now?
Yeah, I'm kicking it off. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.